Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Funday. So I have my wife on. There's Julie. Julie's finally on. You guys been requesting her for a long time. Well, she's here today, and we're going to answer some of your questions. And we got Juliana, Juby, and she's going to be our co-host for the whole evening, which is awesome. I love having Juliana on, and I want to say thank you everyone for coming. So let me see who's been in the chat. So we have, there's been an imposter. So expected imposter today. And so for today, we have Blind Guy, his wife, their life. They're going to be on at 8:15 to around 8:30 or maybe a little 8:40, somewhere's around there. And then after that, we have Boonchill, MB Heritage Farms, and Jules Gardening Tips. So they're coming on at 8:40. So we're going to have a great show today. So let's see who's in the chat. So this is going to be a chat where we're more interactive with everybody else in the chat. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to put it up there. And Juliana, she's on her phone, so she can't see what you're saying. But I highlight your question. We could answer your questions. So
hi, Purple Bear.
So hi Purple Tea Bear. G Mama Grows. Let's see who. Angela Wright.
Crazed Family Gardeners.
Juby.
I'll say hi to Gil because I know he's lurking there somewhere. He just got back from California, so hi, Gil.
There's 2%. Dark Lord Menet. Let's see. We got a new member. Thank you, Crabs Jennifer. Thank you for becoming a member. Taylor LT. There's Gil, like you just said, and he's at Camp Patton Family Con. That's so Gil. I miss Gil. I haven't seen Gil in like 3 weeks. He's been traveling back and forth. So welcome back, Gil. And there's Lisa Ellison. Built on a Rock Homestead. Nancy McDonald. SoundQuest 1976 Rob. Built on a Rock Homestead. Knit Pearl and Squirrel with Granny D. Nancy McDonald. Idaho Garden Girl, Sir Grace, Crazed Family Gardens. Man, I really should have my glasses on right now, huh? But so far, so good. How to Garden, welcome in. Let me see who else. Jersey Girl at Jesse's Girl at Lazy Days Ahead.
Yeah, rambling with the Bronx. Talk you into Alaska.
Oh yeah, so that's with the Alaska trip. We still have to. We're still trying to figure out the Alaska trip, but we got a lot of stuff that we're dealing with our wedding. Well, or not really our wedding. It is our wedding.
No, Joey will be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think we're going to be able to go. But.
So it's going to be the Alaska trip should be interesting. So Joey's going to be a freshman on when we go on that Alaska trip. And so they have a lot of situations. Like we don't think he's going to be able to play football because of his situation. I mean, he's not going to be able to play.
I don't think he's going to be able to do marching band and walk and play the trumpet either. So I don't think he should. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we just got to figure a lot of stuff out, Scott. There's Gray Wolf, Outdoors Homestead. Let me see who else. The Budget Preppers. Well, I just fall way behind, didn't I? All right.
Yes, he is.
Yes, I am. There's Austin Garrett. Welcome to the channel. There's JT Jr. Grows in Alaska. What a great channel that is. So we are here to answer your questions. So if you have any questions, make sure they're all. Yeah, Joey is growing up so fast. He's 4 inches taller than Julie now.
He's 5'8" now.
So.
Can I just say, all this time, I'm like, he looks so much like you, Joe. He looks so much like you. And now Julie's sitting here, and I'm like, never mind. I was like, he looks like his mommy. Like in the.
He said he has more of Joe's mannerisms, though.
Maybe, but I'm just saying, I'm sitting here watching the two of you. It's like, no, he doesn't look like Joe at all. He is your son. I'm just saying.
He's a good kid.
You know what's funny? When he takes the glasses off, looks exactly like me when I was little. Then he puts the glasses on. Then he looks exactly like Julie. That's the way I look at it. But when he takes the glasses off, I'm so used to having him on all the time. I'm like, oh my God, look, that's me. Where there's MB Heritage Farms, our treasured home.
Joey is now 13 and a half. Almost exactly.
Yeah, we celebrate our birthdays, half
Well,
birthdays.
it's not as half. It's July will be half. It's only June.
My daughter turned 12 this week, so I'm there with the half birthdays. I 12.
So I'm looking forward to have MB Heritage Farms on a little later with Jules and Boone. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Welcome in Twin Brook Acres. So with our, I don't know, I say it as a wedding. You know, what happened is I was married before, for those people that don't know. And my ex passed away, and Julie and her mom. It's been very important to get married in the church. And when you're divorced, you cannot get married in the church.
Well, in the Catholic church.
In the Catholic church.
So
it's once she passed away, we're like, hey, we can get married in the church. So on
888, yeah.
888 is our anniversary. And so we're going to get married in the church on 888. And on Saturday, we're going to have a big party. So I got to finish my garden before then. I tell you what, I've been out there every single night until it's dark outside. And I know I got to start Uber.
Uh-oh. Joe froze. Can see Julie, but Joe froze. What Joe's trying to say is he has to Uber. He always Ubers. When he's not sleeping, he's Ubering 24/7, Uber. Look, I think he's back now.
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah, I came home. See, you know what's interesting was when I come home from Uber, if Julie hears something like that, she's up. I'm like, how did you hear that? And it happens, and all of a sudden she's moving. She's probably staying awake now. Is that true?
It's a mom thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every little nook, it's like, oh no, it's crazy. And so, I've been coming home around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I usually I go out in the garden around 9. So.
Yeah, my nephew door dashes too. The gray wolf. He door dashes for extra money. I'm reading the chat. That's what I'm supposed to do, right?
Yeah, read the chat, interlink.
Whatever. Well done, Julie. You got to keep him on task. That's why he has co-hosts, because otherwise,
Tell the same story again.
Hey, did you see what 2% says? She goes, wah, wah, wah.
I know that very well.
So tell me again, it's tomatoes you're allergic to, right, Julie?
Yeah, I'm allergic to a lot of things, but tomatoes and any kind of bees or beeswax.
How do you feel about your husband and his desire to plant 300 tomato plants last year and all,
And then,
I don't know, something that could make you sick. I don't understand. Make it make sense.
And then he'll get gout at the end of every season, and I'd be out there picking them, and then come in hives and.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Gout stinks.
At least he's you know what though? He did tomatoes, and look what happened to him. So this year he's doing peppers. We're doing good, right?
So far.
See?
Yeah, peppers. I just want the seeds. They can stay out there a little longer. It's all good.
I got my first 2 shoshitos yesterday. I was so excited. So excited. It doesn't take much to make me happy, though. I'm just saying.
There's nothing like when you start getting your first veggies. I have all my zucchinis are starting to come in, but I've been so worried to get my peppers in. All my other sections are like tons of weeds. So I can't wait. I'm going to be done this week. I can start taking care of the garden and the yard. I mean,
I don't know what I have going on out here, but when you set up new beds in a new place, you get all kinds of weird stuff. My tomatoes are going nuts. You've seen that. But all of my squashes and my yard long beans have grown to this length and have refused to grow in like almost a month. They have not put on a new leaf. They're not turning color. There's no bugs. There's nothing weird. It's just like they refuse to grow. And I'm like,
All for a little while.
so I don't know. So I'm like, I'm just going to call it first year gardening. If I get nothing but tomatoes, I won't be upset. It'll be okay. But nothing. The watermelons, the cantaloupes, yes, darkwood. He's learning. See, we can teach him. Might take him a minute, but one shall not grow 300 plants that can make your wife sick.
Well,
No, instead he has 400 hot peppers. I don't eat them either.
But will they cause hives? That's the question.
Wow.
when I first started, I said, Julie, I'm going to have a garden. Right? She goes, oh, go ahead. The only thing I know is she's seen about 40 yards or 50 yards all the way down. It was all rototilled. She goes, what are you doing?
That's not nice.
Oh, yeah. She says, she actually wanted to kick me out of the house. I go, don't worry. It's going to look neat.
Still doesn't. He actually said to me the other day, he goes, when I look out here, he goes, I see all this green. I was like, I see weeds when I look out there. My Christmas trees are covered in weeds. It's all weeds out there. I said, see that tree? It's a weed. See that tree?
Nope. If it blooms, it's not a weed. That's my philosophy in life. If it blooms, it's not a weed.
Hey, there's Mrs. Puff. Welcome in. There's my teacher for our whole family. She taught everybody in our whole family. So welcome in,
I have
Mrs.
plenty
Puff.
of EpiPens, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, so Julie was in a hospital. She gets stung by a honeybee, which she has several times. She has to go to the hospital. She has to go right to the hospital.
It's even if they land on me. It's something. I don't know. Black Forest gummy bears have beeswax on them to keep them shiny. And so the jelly bellies that Joey always uses, they have beeswax on them for so they don't stick together in the pack. I can do carbonda wax, but not beeswax. So
it's funny. My twin Brookacre, she goes, my wife has always slept soundly. Nothing woke her. I was the opposite when our kids were small. I never slept, always listening, make sure the kids were okay.
Yep.
Thumbs up. See, with Joey, he would go, dad, dad, in the middle of the night. And Julie,
I told him that was him calling him, not just.
I agree.
Dad first.
Mm-hmm.
So I used it to my advantage because I also used to when we both went back to work, someone got up at Sunday and someone got up Saturday. So I would switch off and say, well, he's calling you and really, really wants you. So,
I like your style.
For 3 years, though.
If anybody has any questions for Julie and I, just let us know. Make sure it's all in caps. Yeah. So
what is your favorite thing that he does grow in the garden, Julie? Does he grow anything for you?
I like spinach, but I didn't realize it was done this year, so I missed that. That's more of a fall vegetable, I guess. Or something.
Spring and fall.
Spring and fall.
Yeah. So I just do the pool.
Got it.
I like regular peppers, the green and red, and we don't have any of them.
Yes, we do.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
I thought he did. King of the North. I thought I saw you plant some of those at some point.
Yeah.
It didn't kill them. I don't know.
I have about 80 types of sweet peppers, or 100, somewhere's around there. So I got tons of sweet peppers.
That if we did like 5 or 10 of each, it's just that we do like 400 of this, 300 of that.
He just likes to be fabulous,
Yes.
Well, I love my peppers. They're supposed to be a lot less taken care of than tomatoes, I still can't believe I tore my Achilles last year. I was so looking forward to that garden. I did so much work to prepare for it, and all of a sudden when I tore it, it was like one of my friends came help me plant one day.
Oh yeah, and he can eat hot peppers. He can eat the hottest pepper, Johnny Monster, and just take a bite out of it and not even be affected.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Any pepper. I don't know.
Their tongue is broken, that's all.
Yeah. There's no
Well, that's anytime I have grown, I'm always paranoid because I can only grow 1, 2, maybe 3 of something. Excuse me, I'm a little busy, sir. Sorry, I have a visitor here. That I'm like, okay, I can only grow 2 or 3. Well, what if one doesn't make it? What if something gets forgotten? So I grow 5 or 6, and then they all wind up growing, and I'm like, I don't have room for these. I don't have the heart to throw plants out. So I'm forever giving them to neighbors, and they're always like, why do you grow so many if you don't have room for them? And I'm just like, I got to make sure that I have them, right? Like,
So welcome in, Raven Cat, Cecilia. Welcome in. If I
Raven
missed,
Cat, are you a Harry Potter fan?
she's from Canada.
Oh,
Cecilia's from Canada. Welcome in, Jane Doe. Let's see who else we missed. Barb's Country Home. Chris Shirey Babies, welcome in. Mike
Denise Kozlowski.
Denise is here.
Yes.
Hi, Denise.
I posted it on my page.
So there's Ellie Leva. So yesterday we went to a 2-year-old birthday party.
Yeah.
But the mommy is five months pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, she hasn't been doing too well, and so she had to go.
She's just a bad morning sickness.
Yeah, really bad morning sickness. And hopefully, I didn't even ask Denise today.
She's a little better. So
they had to go get checked out, and so the whole party was there, and I was like, "Wow, this is interesting."
You did good.
Yeah, everything went well with the party.
It was very nice.
the pig was adorable.
I bled football before. Who was that?
Scott?
Yeah, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, Julie.
I was bleeding football until Joey was born, and then now I get him to go. But I do. Rutgers has a very special place in my heart, so they always will.
Rutgers has been so good to us in so many ways. So yeah, Julie goes to the games now, but for a couple of years it was hard because here she's a teacher and there's kids drinking, and she can't be around that.
When they were cracking down on tailgating, so I didn't have tenure yet. I was a little afraid. But
welcome in, and
So
it's a gray line, gray matter, you know.
there's free.
well, it depends on your district, because like even when we lived in Kentucky, a friend who was a teacher, and the district would say, even if you went to some wedding and you were standing in front of a table, not yours, not in your hand, not actively, if you were in a picture with a beer bottle at a wedding behind you on a table, people have gotten fired for it. So definitely underage tailgating is a line I wouldn't cross either. I respect you on that one.
Yeah, it wouldn't say, teacher, it wouldn't say, my name. It would say teacher from so-and-so, so.
Right.
It's not worth it,
Nope. I'm with you. I support you, Julie.
One of the worst mistakes I ever made, and I'll say it here, there was during Hurricane Sandy, talking about football.
Mm-hmm.
And the hurricane was 60 miles an hour. It's on the East Coast. It's cold water. Everybody gets storm 60-mile-an-hour winds. I'm thinking, well, the storm's going to hit us on Monday. Well, on the news, get ready for the hurricane. It's going to be a battle. And I'm like, come on. How bad could it be?
He went to the football game, and Joey didn't talk yet. And
so even though the hurricane was on Monday, water started coming into the roads on Saturday night.
Yeah, we lived in Neptune then by the water.
And thank God that happened, because that would have been, if it just came on in, a lot of people it would have been sad.
It was sad.
It was sad as it is, but a lot of people left because
it was bad, not catastrophic. It could have been catastrophic. Like,
people left because of the storm surges, and then I went and got a what's that called? Generator.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had DirecTV, so we had TV and no power for the storm.
Hi, Bunky.
Hi, Bunky.
And then we had no electricity for 21 days. So it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Well, what happened is during that Saturday, at homecoming, I have about a 40-person tailgate. And I do all the cooking. So everybody gives me money. The game's on Saturday. I'm like, I'm going to leave at halftime. Let me just get all the food there. Everybody's partying. Let me get everything there. And all of a sudden, after I was done cooking, she goes, "Are you really going to the game?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That was the entire time.
I was like, "Of course I am." It's like, what? It's not going to rain yet. It's going to be fine. I'll be home in time. If we need something, I'll take care of it.
Spoken like a true man. Got it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it was, yeah, it was pretty bad. So
But at least you recognize now in your senior years that was not the wisest decision in your life. I'm just saying.
yeah, it was a mess.
I was in Hawaii when Fukushima in Japan, when that earthquake hit, and there was a tsunami in Hawaii. So, yeah, fun times for the first one. Then the second tsunami, there was an earthquake in Chile, and I was on the beach in a hotel room, and my husband was deployed with my babies in a hotel room, and they shut the entire highway down, so you couldn't leave the beach. And I watched the whole ocean get sucked out 150 yards. Thankfully, it wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, but that's kind of terrifying being on a rock in the middle of the ocean and not living with that your whole life growing up with it, because that's the key. You know, when you're used to it, it's a little less frightening and you can recognize it. When you're the fish out of water, so to speak, it is terrifying.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, Bunky, is that a new name? Bunky Town? For your channel, for your own channel? So I haven't really even noticed that. I'm sorry if I haven't recognized that before. But I love it. It's very cute.
We knew who it was, right?
And Butler Family Farm, I'm exhausted. You know what? I really needed a break. I've been taking a little break from YouTube. Even at work, I've been listening to music instead of listening to channels. I just needed to get away for a little bit. So, yes, I've been everybody needs a break sometime or another. And so I've been taking this time to try to get my life together a little bit and more under direction, I guess you could say. Any questions? Make sure you're all in caps. Let me see. Do you see anything?
Julie, what's your favorite color?
Actually, my real favorite color is orange, but I was born in the 70s, so, orange got a bad rap for a little while. So
Okay.
In the early 80s, I used to say my favorite color was purple because it was more socially acceptable. And I had told Joey that story once, and he said, Joe said something to him, and he says, "Oh, mommy's favorite color is purple." And he's like, "No, it really isn't. You didn't listen to her whole story."
I'm good at listening halfway. I'm very good listening halfway.
Oh, you have wedding prep too, Dark Lord?
Dark Lord, when are you guys getting married? Oh, look at that.
Butler family had surgery.
My husband goes between orange and green too, so I feel you on that one. Depends on the day. It's either orange or green. And depends on the thing. You can't go wrong with either one of those two colors.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny because I did my drink thing in all my favorite colors, but I had a yellow one once, and the bees are very attracted to it, believe it or not. So should have thought of that when I made the top orange, but we've been good so far. But my son said, none of those colors match. And I was like, they complement each other.
I was going to say that looks like a very 70s.
Yes.
It's all the colors, psychedelic colors together. By default, it matches.
Mm-hmm.
So Andel wants to know, do you coach? Do you garden with Coach?
No, I don't really go out there too much. I get.
She goes to the pool.
I go to the pool.
She waves to him from the pool.
The backyard goes to we have the patio, then the pool, then there's a swing set, and then the garden, the basketball court will come in, and then the garden.
You stuck Joe in the back corner. I see.
Yeah, he's in the back.
I get a phone call. You okay back there?
Every once in a while, I'm like, is your dad alive? I think we should get a camera back there so I can the ring somehow, put it back there somehow.
So Scott goes, wife, football, YouTube, they are good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what Dark Lord says. Little cousin is getting married on July 1st. Not my wedding. Swear if I ever get married, I'm eloping. It is so expensive because Uber and I pick these people up all the time. And I still can't believe I got a proposal. And while Ubering, I still can't.
That's a very Jersey thing.
I can't believe he did it. I really can't believe. I really want to engage, but I have no idea how to do it. And a guy actually got engaged, and I filmed it. It was great. I love it. I can't believe that actually happened.
Robert Gopher had to pull some of his tomatoes because he got the black spot.
Oh no, he got late blight.
Yeah.
Let's see what Gil said. The staff sergeant that is Gil's wife, China's cabin is now back together.
Good.
Woohoo!
I was going to say, my staff sergeant's China cabinet is just fine. Thank you very much. No.
I'll tell you what, the person that puts stuff together is Julie. I
must be the name.
Mm-hmm.
She does it perfect. I look at directions. I don't look at directions. I'm like, I always come with extra pieces, extra screws. And Julie's right on.
Yes. So the nosy Catholic girl has a question. Is this a convalidation or is it a straight full marriage?
No, it's a convalidation.
Cool, Dean. Do you have a fancy dress?
I fit in my wedding dress. So
oh.
I have to get it taken in. So I have to.
Even better.
Yeah, I have to do that this week.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
There better be pictures and videos and all the things. And I'm excited.
I think I decided that everyone's just going to wear black, everyone else, and then I'll just wear white. Because I don't want to buy anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
One of my bridesmaids' dresses that at my school I work at, we do Cinderella's closet. So you can just turn, you get your dress washed, dry cleaned, and bring it in, and then the kids pick from them. So one of my dresses was still there. I had brought all the bridesmaids' dresses there. So I actually took it back, and I said I'll give it back in September. So they laughed at me.
We do that in the military. There's an organization called Deploy That Dress or Deploy That Gown, and they go from place to place, and they let you pick out a free dress for your event when they have for that reason, because so much you buy one dress and you wear it one time and then you buy one so that people give them back and they thing. It's cool.
Which you said yesterday, Denise, when you guys were outside on the swings. I didn't get to tell you yet.
There's your invitation.
Yeah. So you heard it here first.
And yes, he will, because I'll throw him if he does.
Just wait 1 second. It's stalled a little bit.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said, yes, he will. I'll threaten him if he doesn't.
Yeah. Pictures or videos up.
Yep, definitely putting a lot of pictures. Hopefully we get somebody videotape, maybe even videotape it live. We'll see. Not the whole thing. But, little things.
Any black dress is good. Yeah, it cuts in and out sometimes, the auto. We're having a little bit of a difficulty with that.
It shows our age when we still say videotape.
Yeah.
We say videotape. There's no tape in the video.
No.
There hasn't been for a very long time.
Oh, a 2020 wedding live stream. My mom's funeral was live streamed, actually. You can still watch it. On those Mormon days.
I'm just hoping we get some good weather on both days.
It's amazing here in Jackson. Jackson's so big that my sister-in-law's on the other side of Jackson, and they have the bad storms. Ours can't really tell down here, but I think it's not storming.
Oh, we just had, well, there's a roll of thunder. It's been, every time I was trying to go out before, it was like, you hear a roll of thunder and lightning. It's like, well, more thunder. It was like, oh, come on.
Hi, Stock Explorer.
It's like every Saturday, it seemed like in the spring, early spring, there was pouring nonstop. It was terrible. And it's been so cold here.
Yeah, it's all digital now, Kaylin.
Yep.
When I got married in 2005, Hurricane Wilma had come through. And I got married. My childhood next door neighbor got married the week before me. And in between the two of our weddings, my cousin got married. So there was 3 of us. Poured cats and dogs for everybody. My wedding, the sun came out that morning, dried up enough. There was 2 trees left at church. So we got married in October. And all I wanted was pretty fall color leaves. I had 2 trees that still had leaves on them. I got my pictures, and then we went in and got married. And during mass, it torrential downpoured. We left. It dried up when we were leaving the church. We got to the reception hall, and the skies let loose. And my mom was like, "See, even the Lord knew not to mess with you on your wedding day." Like, it poured for, I think, 15 days straight.
Wow.
Like something crazy like that. Wilma was. It wasn't bad, but it just rained nonstop for like 2 weeks, and everybody's wedding was wet. But all of my important hourly segments from Philly to South Jersey to everything, there was an hour and a half of sun, an hour and a half of sun, and an hour and a half of sun, and then it all went away.
You know what's crazy? It only rained in New Jersey twice last summer.
That is crazy.
Twice. So it's yeah, that was crazy. And it's
Doesn't that make sense why you didn't get much snow?
Yeah. Well, they already started with it's been raining this whole week. So we were actually talking about it at work. There's no air conditioning where I work. It's a very old building with the cinder block. So when it gets really hot, it holds the heat, you know?
Yeah.
And it holds the cold too. But like we were saying, there wasn't a day where you're like, maybe once it was like, oh, too hot. You know, you came home and you lay down. But otherwise, you know, the spring, we're going to have a very dry summer, I think. But we'll see. Hasn't been that way so far.
Yeah, I think that in April we had 3 days where it was 95 degrees, and otherwise it's been low 50s at night.
Yeah, it goes down at night all the time. So like the pool, even the salt water doesn't stay warm. I have to turn the heater on and stuff. So.
And during the days it's been basically in the 70s, mid 70s, not even maybe low 70s. Besides the last couple of days where it's finally getting warm and muggy. Yeah. So it's good to actually, I like the heat. I like to sweat. Julie's the complete opposite. You know, Juliana, do you sleep with some kind of noise?
I have tinnitus terrible. So yes, there is always something on, a fan, the TV. There is something somewhere always making some kind of noise so that I hear that and not the ringing in my head. So yeah, I've had like my eardrum burst 10 times in my lifetime. I've had 8 surgeries on it. I've had a middle ear reconstruction surgery. Like it's a mess. So I'm listening to noise, TV, a YouTube video. That's why people need to make playlists, so then you can just put them on low enough and you can hear it, and you get those watch hours while I'm sleeping. So you get on Juliana's good side, and Jujubee will play your playlist when she's supposed to be sleeping because she needs some kind of noise. So,
you know,
gardening by osmosis.
When I first started my channel, you know what? I wonder if I film fish for 4 hours.
You did that.
I wonder how many people would actually watch it. A lot of people watched my fish.
Yep.
I found that when I was in the hospital. I watched the strangest things, and you just sit there and you get like I like the Roku TVs have that screensaver.
Yes.
That aquarium. I love that.
That is exactly what my 15-year-old has on almost every night is her Roku, because she's got a Roku TV. She's got the Roku TV screensaver of the fish, the diver, this, that, and the other stuff, because it always has calming, peaceful music. And yes. So.
Yeah, at the Ronald McDonald House, we say that. I was like,
yes.
That's such an awesome aquarium. And then a little eel
you don't have to,
out. And then
you don't have to clean it. You don't have to feed them. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I like our fish tank. I do watch the fish.
The deal we made with our kids when we got settled here was
wow.
When their rooms were together, for the most part, they would each get is it a 5-gallon, 3-gallon fish tank for their room, and they each have a beta now in their room. Nice. So, and they're all set up completely different, but they have their own little. They have approximately a 3-year lifespan. That's approximately how long we're in a location for. So it works, hopefully. So
got a little story. So one of the first nights Julie and I were together, she goes, well,
hey, it's a family show.
It is.
Go ahead. Bunky's listening, just reminding you.
She goes, well, I like to sleep to Arthur.
Going
to sleep to Arthur.
I fall asleep watching Arthur.
So I'm thinking it's Dudley Moore in the movie Arthur. Thinking, this is really, really strange. Who goes to bed watching a drunk old guy, an Arthur? I'm never thinking Arthur, the kids.
the PBS channel Arthur, right?
Like when we were growing up on Channel 11, they had Friends would come on, and then Frasier. If I told before Frasier came on, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Back in the
Are we the same person? Because that was me in my previous years too.
So now with DVR, it's great. Like I even have some Arthurs for when I'm feeling that. Like if I'm listening too much to Friends, I can put that on and fall asleep to that. It goes straight through. But, nothing exciting because the TV does get louder. If you sleep with the TV on, when the news comes on at like 5 o'clock, it gets louder because I hear it all of a sudden. So, and I did learn anytime they say tornado at any time, I do get up.
Yes. For a while, I was watching Friends on, is it Netflix, I think. And then when I got to the end of the series, it was Cheers. And then when I watched the whole series of Cheers, I went to Seinfeld and watched the whole Seinfeld. Now, I don't think any of them are left on Netflix at this point right now. But I'm like, all those shows I've already watched, I'm like, let's just put them on repeat.
Yeah.
So
my brother had a, what did he have? A Dempsey, a big, ugly Dempsey, and he had a 50-gallon tank in his room. So when we were young, my mom had a 10-gallon tank in the kitchen, and she would if you bought 10 goldfish, you got one for free. So she would give the fish 10 and then keep the one for free. So, and then she would just feed the bigger fish, I guess, to the Dempsey. And so that's how we started our fish tank. But I've had a fish tank my whole life. My goal is to someday have a saltwater, but nobody thinks I can keep up with it. But I keep up with a saltwater pool, and my fish tank is very clean. Nothing else may be in my house, but the fish tank is clean.
I love the idea of a saltwater tank. My struggle is if you're off by even a fraction of a millimeter, you're out, and those fish are not cheap. So that's what stops me. It's not that I don't think I could. It's I feel like the margin of error is so slim, I'd be nervous. If your margin of error is off on the pool, maybe it's a little cloudy, but you know what I'm saying? It's not catastrophic. So I know Vineyard Chicks, isn't it so exciting? She exists. She's a real person.
Yeah.
How long have we all been here for? I'm like, I don't think Joe's really married. I mean, we've met Joey and we've met Reed and we've met your nephew and a couple other people along the way. I'm like, I'm not sure I don't think she exists. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yes, 2%. That's me.
Cool. Okay.
How many people will say Kozlowski, right?
Actually, my kids make a point out of saying Kozlowski right because I make a point out of saying their name right.
I feel like it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Once you, it's hard to say.
It's still amazing. I mean,
and a lot of people say Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. And
yeah.
Wazowski, it's easy to say Kozlowski. So
yes.
We actually met on Match.com.
Yep, Match.com we met. And it was my last first. What is it?
My last, your first.
Yeah.
I was giving up.
It was my.
That says so much now.
Yeah.
Julie was the first person I met.
This was it. I had been through some frogs, I guess you could say.
Were you catfished, Mrs. K?
I was. Before catfishing was a thing.
You did it before it was cool, right?
That's right.
Well, Julie always said when she first met me, she knew I was the one. So isn't that nice? Julie's like, "Oh, you really said that?"
I think sometimes he remembers things he hears.
How long have we been together? So let me say.
18 years.
Yeah, 18 years.
So when we went for the meeting, we still had to meet with the priests. So he said you just answer the questions like you're not married because technically it's not recognized. So they said how long you've been dating, and it was 18 years. And then when did you get engaged? I was like April 24th, 2007.
I'll say that kind of hurts my heart a little bit to think that you've been together 18 years and you met on Match.com. I all of a sudden feel very old.
I know, it was brand new back then. I even paid the special, yet.
And actually, I went to her house to watch The Sopranos. And her uncle was there and stuff like that. And that was interesting.
I was visiting a friend a few years ago now at this point, so my ages aren't right, but he was 24 at the time, I think, and we said something, and he started spouting like marriage advice and parenting advice, and he's 24, single, not even engaged, like he meant well, but I'm like, be quiet, you're not even as old as Google, like Google's older than you. And he was like, he got so offended, and the kids looked it up and they're like, wait a minute, Google is older than Mr. Ryan. Like, wait, like Google's older than me? Like it was the funniest thing in the world when we made this poor child realize that, yeah, like Google that everybody swears by was around before he was even born. Like, you're new. You're new here, sir. Like
And I'm a special education teacher in Jackson, in New Jersey, not Jackson. And yes, Bunky, Joey looks like whoever he's with, really. Joe and I kind of look similar too, though, because I think we have such the faces that when we smile, our eyes squint. So when we kind of look alike too.
Yeah, it's amazing when you go to a dentist. Everybody has fish tanks when you go. Seems like when you see go to the dentist.
Lowers your blood pressure when you watch them.
Avocado toast you messed up? That's pretty bad.
Welcome in, Greg. Welcome in.
Joey does look like my sister Peggy, actually. And when he was sick, Peggy liked to shave her head. So he didn't want any of us to shave our heads, but she shaved hers, and they looked exactly alike. I'll find a picture. That's who I think he looks the most like too. That was Denise said that, pointed that out.
See, we all think the same thing. We're like, Joey looks like Joe. And then tonight, everyone's like, oh no, he looks like his mommy.
Yeah.
In the best way possible, but yes. No, my oldest is the spitting image of her father. So it's one of those things like, how could you look like your dad, but yet be so beautiful at the same time? Like, you're how can you look so much like your mom, but be so handsome at the same time? Like, it's the male version of you.
He's very smart and witty.
Yeah, Joey Tiff. Thank God he takes after his mom with his intelligence.
You are plenty smart, Joe. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
That's right.
What was his grades? Joey's grades?
Oh, his
straight A's.
He's been a 96, but that's just numbers.
Yeah, lowest grade 96. I don't think I ever received a 96.
I had the mother who I get 103 on a test, and she'll go, what, with 105 bonus points? What did you miss? Yeah. Like, I still got the whole test right. Like, yeah, but you missed 2 bonus points. What did you get wrong? Like, that's
his memory. Like, if I took a test, I'd say, oh, I think I did all right. You know, he comes home and tells the exact numbers he got wrong and what was wrong because he thought of it after.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's awesome.
Your 13-year-old and my 12-year-old might be the same child. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, you and her were telling me about my straw and the soda at the exact same time.
Bubbles. Does she know that trick if you suck it and then hold the end?
No. Shh, we're not going to make messes in my house. Thank you. I'll send you the cleaning bill.
Yeah. I'm not going to clean it. You can ask.
What's that? I'll send you the bill. Yeah, I'll take care of it. We'll just send you the bill, ma'am. Hi, Uncle Al.
There's Uncle Al. Uncle Al was one of the first people in the chat today. And that's when a person came on and says, there is no Sunday Funday today. And Uncle Al goes, okay, I'll see you later. So welcome back, Uncle Al. Welcome back. I love Uncle Al. Any questions? Make sure they're all in caps because I totally go bypass them.
That's how you know you made it to the big leagues of YouTube when you get the scammers in your site.
Yeah.
They don't bother the little guys. They don't bother the little fish in the pond as we're talking about fish tonight. So.
Great.
What I really want to do is go fishing. I haven't had the chance to go fishing. I always want to go fishing. Like when, how? Not how, but when. That's my biggest thing.
When you're sleeping. When you're sleeping.
That's my younger sister.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Well, and his face is really round there but they even have the same hairline if you look closely. She was the only one he'd let shave her head.
Just saying, Joey, tell me I can't do something, Joey. Tell me I can't do something and watch me do it.
Believe me, he could say anything at that point. I did it.
Nice.
I'm still recovering from that. Every once in a while, I have to say to her, remember that I'm your mom, not your friend.
No, Mrs. Puff, you gave me a C. It was gymnastics. No, I got an A.
The truth comes out. Miss Puff is here to keep Joe honest.
She is. She's a good woman.
And Mrs. Puff, if you want to come to our party and wedding, I don't know.
Oh, I emailed that thing.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'll email
her. Somehow I don't think you'd kick her out if she showed up. I'm just saying.
And if anybody else is in Jersey and wants to come, you're more than welcome. Just let us know. Not like having a visitor from, I don't know, North Carolina or Virginia or something.
Nudge, nudge, no.
Yeah.
If you understand my life at all, sir, you will understand that if there's any chance of me coming on Saturday, that decision will be made at like 4:30 on Saturday. Just saying. Because that's how things go. We can't plan anything around here. It doesn't.
No, I'm more of a last minute person too.
I would love to plan every minute of every day of every event ever in the history of life. But let me just say the government has been ruining my plans long before the rest of you got looped in the last couple of years. Like, you're new around here, compare, you know.
So Kaylin's going to start her show in a little bit. She goes 8 to 9.
Have fun, Kaylin.
There, so have a good show, Kaylin. And Howie, he's going to be going most mornings now around 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Summer's around that time. I listen to Howie all the time.
I'm not an awesome earthling. I see how it is.
What a
Well,
great
it
show.
could be both of us. It's just Mike, where are you that it's raining so hard?
Oh, you see what Mrs. Puff said after I said to say? She goes, no way.
Was Johnny in Mrs. Puff's class?
I don't know. Probably. She had everybody. Spotswood. It was small.
I mean, if you could make it, you're invited rambling with the Brahms. I'm telling you.
Come on down.
Come on down, Scott. Love to have you.
More the merrier.
We could talk football during our party.
Julie, you sure you want to do this?
I know.
Do you need an escape plan?
Oh, that would be great.
Been a few times.
I love to see you.
Well, it works then. Are you sure? And you're doing what?
Willingly, 18 years later, again? You sure?
Well, no. Nothing else is going to suck.
I tell you what, the prices down at Jersey Shore for a hotel room, it's crazy. Like a simple room, smaller than this, it's like $250.
I believe it.
Yeah, if you go to Jersey Shore, make sure it's during a week or go inland a lot, and it'll be a lot cheaper. But people, they paid $500 for a room last night. And I was like, you just paid $500 for a room? Oh, my God.
I room down here with 12 and for 3 weeks.
Wow.
To move across country sometimes. No, they did not 200 a night versal wise. We work. So but I stay just anywhere with children for 3 weeks at a time. I have standards.
Just let you know, Juliana, you were like going back and forth.
Out.
You're breaking out. So just give it a couple seconds.
Is that
8/8, and then it's a Tuesday, and then we'll have a little cake reception at the church, and then 8/12 we'll have at the house, because I'm not putting the dress on at the house. It's too long now.
Yeah, so
I shrunk.
Julie's always been about numbers and stuff. So 888 is when we got married. So we're just getting married 8823, and the party's on Saturday. So, and the pool's going to be open. There's going to be it's going to be a really cool party. So really looking forward to that. But yeah, you don't have to dress up for the party. Bring your shorts. It's gonna be a blast. People need date and time. Yeah, so 888 is the church. No, I'm just going down the chat. And what time is the 7 o'clock? And the party's not going to be like at noon, because it's going to be it could be 95 degrees, so it's going to be a little later.
Yep. Did we lose Juliana?
And we just lost Juliana, and I see Jules in.
Taylor's birthday is August 6th. Thank you very much.
Right around her. That's awesome.
It's my niece's birthday on the 8th, and her anniversary is the 7th. So
MB Heritage Farms, you got Jules is here. That's Jules Gardening Tips and Boone. They're coming on at 8:40, and so they're just in the chat now listening. So it is 7:56 Eastern Standard Time. So it's good to see you, Jules. I'm so happy you're here today.
Have fun mowing the lawn, Lisa.
There's Juliana.
Am I better now?
You're back.
You're back.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
All right. My whole phone lost sound. I couldn't hear you guys either. So
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's what Taylor.
August 11th. I have a nephew August 10th. August is a busy month. My niece and nephew are 363 days apart. She's older. You want me to post a copy of the invitation to me? Yes, he has gone through his voice change.
It is so funny hearing him. When you call, my son has a cell. When you call his phone, he has the message.
I want to play it. It's actually very funny.
You got to hear his voice.
Oh, poor Joey.
Hopefully he doesn't answer.
Here, you guys can hear it. She's playing it right now.
Mom.
Oh, I just say hello.
Hi.
All right, now don't answer. I want to call your machine.
Huh?
Don't answer. I'm going to call back. Don't answer the phone. Okay, bye.
Watch him answer the phone again.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys heard that voice, right? Nice and very deep.
I should have told him to send the voicemail. Oh, it's terrible. You've gotten in an accident built on the rock. Totaled his truck.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Glad you're okay. I don't know if I'll ever let him change this voicemail, actually.
Hi, this is Joseph K. Leave me a message or call me later.
The mailbox is full.
How long ago was that?
That was 4 years ago. So
He sounded like a baby then.
2019.
Sweet boy.
It's so funny when you say it's only 4 years and that much of a change.
It was amazing because it all happened like really almost overnight. There was a day in like October that my niece was way taller than me, and then Joey, everybody was taller than me.
Julie's two sisters are very tall.
I'm on the white side part of the family. I'm really the shortest. Everyone is 5'9" or above, and I'm 5'4".
My daughter, who turned 12 this week, grew 4 inches in the 4 months we've been here in Virginia. Yeah. And our bestie video chatted and saw her standing next to my 15-year-old, and there's like this much separating them in height now. And his face, I have a screenshot. He's like, his face all quick, like, when did that happen? In the last 4 months. She just keeps shooting up.
Yeah, Trey's voice will crack sometimes. So Julie's she's gonna be leaving in about 2 more minutes. So if anybody has any other questions, please, this is the time to ask. Oh, no way, Helen! I had no idea. That's crazy. That was the cheapest place you could get seeds and get really quality seeds was from the Ukraine.
Oh, wow. I suppose that'd be a big fee now.
Yeah, that's a big fee. $35 is crazy.
With everything going on there, I'm not sure that it's her. They're doing, not her, but they're doing. Yeah. That's probably a country thing.
No, I don't like hot peppers.
It's a me thing. And Ian.
And if I eat cilantro, I taste soap.
Do you like hot peppers like a jalapeno or serrano, like any of it, or you straight up no go?
I have terrible reflux.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't like the crazy super hots, but I do like a serrano or a jigsaw or a jalapeno, that kind of a thing.
Yes, he eats a lot of them. My nephew will once a year eat one and tell everyone he forgets how hot it could be. So
actually, Ian eats a lot of hot. He's right with me with a lot of stuff, but I dehydrate things. I mix, sauces and dips, and I mix things. He just eats the plain pepper, and it was like, this might not be a good idea, Ian.
I have a new idea for you, Joe. I meant to tell you. New culinary expedition. you like to dehydrate your peppers already. Take it one step further and blend it with like some Himalayan pink salt or some Redmond's real salt with the hot pepper in the salt and make spicy salt.
Yep,
Oh.
definitely.
I did that with my basil last year, the purple basil. So it made a beautiful lavender salt that was delicious. And yeah, I was like, oh, Joe should do this with his hot peppers. And then you really by default can't use too many because then your food gets too salty.
Yeah, LP, I'm a little more shy than Joe is. So, I mean, he a lot, so it's fun for him.
So what do you think of his 10,000 subscribers? Do you think that this would be as big as it is, as fast as it is?
Never.
Did you think he was crazy when he started it?
Yeah, and what was funny is Joey said he wanted to be a YouTuber, and I went and met a famous YouTuber who had 100 million subscribers, and I think Joe was a little upset that I didn't push his channel more or something, but
no, actually,
it didn't even happen. I ended up getting hurt, but yeah. So I mean, it is like a 1 in a million type thing. So, but he has a good following, and you know he likes it. I didn't think the garden would take off either, and he's doing that too. So,
just thought I was too lazy. You know what makes my channel grow is the people in it. I mean, if there was no response, it was boring, I'll be like, I'm out of here. And it's actually, I'm getting close to 15,000 now, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. We get kicked out when we've had a few drinks and get in the spam. But we usually do that when he stays home from a family barbecue, though. So.
I think what aggravates people is when I want to film. I'm in a situation, like say Disney or something. Oh, I want to film this. And Joe's like, no, you're not allowed to film that. I go, come on, this would be great. This is perfect.
Yeah. Well, I also have to think of school. Like he was doing naked gardening or something once. And I mean, he just had no shirt on, but I was like, you can't use my last name and that out there, you know?
I feel like there's quite a few Kozlowskis out there. There's plausible deniability. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, I support you, Joe. I'll stick with you on that one.
There you go.
Everybody likes the nude gardening video.
I'm so embarrassed. I couldn't believe that.
It was a classic.
Joey now Googles his name every once in a while to see what his father has put up there about himself. So,
you know, my thing though is my kids don't necessarily like having their pictures taken per se. And I can appreciate that. So and be in the moment, put your phone away. Don't record this or don't do that. It's like, okay, fine. Give me one good picture now. And then I'll put it away for 2 hours. Okay, give me one good picture now. And then I'll put it away for an hour. So like they appreciate with me and the phone and the pictures and recordings that if you give me what I need right now or want and fill my cup with the picture and the memory, you know, well, you're small and I'm the mom and you're the kid and I'm financing all of this activity for you. Like, let's forget. Give me what I want and then we'll go do our thing. They get what they want. Like, I appreciate to be like, Dad, I don't have this camera out for 8 hours. Who knows what we're going to keep? I'm with you. You could do a little bit or a little bit better.
Yeah, I'll say to Joey, you know, like today is pictures. You have to be happy and, you know, and he's usually good if I give him the heads up. But every ride we were on in Disney was getting filmed at some point.
It was only a picture.
It's a small world. He was in a row by himself in the back. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
That was great. I never really been to Disney, so I was going there. I wanted to see everything, you know, filming it and just not even for my show. So Adventures Without the Where you go, oh, love seeing Mrs. Garden State Gardener.
Yeah.
And he's driving. It's great to see her here too. I love it. Absolutely love it. Let me see.
Well, we're getting a storm now.
Mrs. Julie is strict, Mr. Joe.
I'm the one. Joey's
Somebody's got to be. Can't be all fun all the time.
No, I get the teacher voice comes out, and that's when he doesn't like it.
So Jesse and Lisa goes.
Yeah. I was all for Alaska.
And we still, well, we're going to try to make it happen. That's what we're trying to do.
I love Disney, King Poopah. I love it. There's actually cheap flights in August, but I can't, it's the tickets now to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Get a cheap flight, and when Joey went, it was Make-A-Wish, so like we didn't wait in a line or anything. So I was like, it'll never be like that again.
Yep.
Yeah, the Make-A-Wish Foundation did a great. I mean, it was amazing what they did for us. Just from the limo ride to the airport.
And y'all deserve that and so much more.
Yeah.
And anybody wants to check out the cruise in Alaska, there's a Facebook link right there. So go check it out. There's a little more information. So go. It's going to be a lot of fun, that cruise.
We're giving anything away before I go?
Let me just finish if there's any.
Let Julie spin the wheel and pick the music.
I found the wheel. I did find that.
Okay, so
I
we're going to
use
go.
that in my classroom too, and no one's paying attention. I'm like, oh, well, bring up the wheel.
Let me get my chat going, my list here. So if you win seeds, just email me. I'm not going to give out the type of seeds right now. Just tell me what kind of seed are you looking for. Tomato, pepper, hot pepper, dwarf tomato, and the type. I can't give you a variety offhand because I don't know if I have it. And that's a lot of searching to do in my house right now. So just make it nice and simple. The first thing we're going to give away is a hot sauce. You can go if you want. If you want to stay, stay. We're going to give away I Dare You Stupid Hot Sauce. So this is from Pucker Butt. Then we're going to give away, let's see what else I got.
Dance time.
Whoops.
Yeah.
We're going to give
A
away
fruit knit kit.
a fruit knit kit.
Fruity knits.
I don't know where he finds these things even. You can make the vegetables.
You can make the veggies.
Veggie tails.
No veggies. Those are fruit. Don't you listen?
Then we got a couple of
They are.
these. There's like 4 or 5 or 6 of these.
Pretty. Is that blue?
Yeah.
Yep.
We like the same music. He likes Phil Collins more than I do, though.
I'm a kind of a mix of things.
That means he likes the Tarzan movie, doesn't he? Big Disney, Phil Collins, Tarzan. Whew.
And Joey said, isn't that the one you did like Mom? I was like, I know every other one word for word.
We got a couple of these strangling around.
It's like people's hair.
Yeah, people see her in school these days. And let's give away Crochet Dolls and Animals,
There we go.
which is actually a really awesome book.
They make a Snoopy.
Very fun. Lots of pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really cool book. So let's give out those to start, and some
Elliot
seeds.
Bar.
So we got Blind Guy, his wife, their life. They are in a chat. They're going to come on very soon, right after I give these away. So we're looking forward to seeing them. That's going to be awesome. So
It was
let's
great
get to
to
the wheel.
see you all. Nice meeting you. Thank
It
you.
was wonderful seeing you and meeting you.
My dollar store glasses so I can read.
Ellie, if you were on a registration video and it was before 7:55, you are on the wheel. Anything after 7:55, you're not on the wheel
Okay.
because there's different people every single time. Okay, so let's go to. There we go. So I'm sharing the wheel. So good. Let me shuffle here. If you guys have a chance, become a member. It helps out your chances, helps out the channel. Super chats are welcome. So, okay, here we go. So the first thing we're giving away is I Dare You Stupid Hot Sauce. So good luck. Good luck. back to the polka. So look for names in the chat. They went home. PJ, I don't think PJ hasn't been.
Sorry.
I don't think PJ's here, so that might go back. So PJ, I haven't seen her for a while. I have to go check up on her. But PJ, if you're here, let us know. Yeah, the polka. So there's like several of these. So good luck, good luck. We gotta make a blanket for fall. Froggy. Froggy went a knitting. I haven't seen her in the chat, but she usually lurks. So we'll see if she comes on. Okay, let's give out this book, Crochet Dolls and Animals.
Big round.
Claim your prize in your between this time period and the time we come back. So you only get like 5 minutes to claim your prize. Bailey, I miss Bailey. Bailey was having some heart problems, but she's been back on. It's good to see Bailey back on the internet. I know I haven't said hi to her for a while, so Bailey, if you're around, I do miss you. Put that there. So if you see Bailey, let us know. So far, we got nobody. We got
no whammies. Big money. Stop.
Big money.
Yeah, usually when I have the polka on, there's a lot of winners. Without the polka, there's no winners. Okay, some blue yarn. This is pretty cool. It's I can't even read who it's by. Okay, good luck. We're struggling here for winners.
My back step.
Al?
I haven't seen Al yet. So, man, this is terrible. Right. Hopefully Al's in the chat. And
fruit knitties.
And a fruit knits. And you get a book. This is actually really cool, guys.
There's a lot of fruit gnats down here.
We got mosquitoes. No fruit gnats. Just mosquitoes.
Thank you for all the mods. I appreciate all the mods. Thank you guys for helping this. That's Dave. Disabled and prepping.
Disabled and prepping. I've seen them.
If you don't want the prize, you want seeds, you're always welcome to have seeds.
All right, I'm going up.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. It was fun hanging out with you.
Yep. We'll do it again. It's the only, I don't have school tomorrow, so.
Our kids are done down here, so.
All of July I'll have it, so we'll see. All right.
Thank you again, hon. I appreciate everything you did. Thank you. Put this over here. Wow, I don't think we got one winner. That's crazy.
No, but disabled and prep is there somewhere.
Okay, let me just check things out. Oh, disabled and prepping is here. Fine. Let me just make sure what disabled and prepping in the chat, if they want the prize or not, because they are here. Just hold on, guys. I'm looking for disabled and prepping. Yes, please. So disabled and prepping, congratulations. Awesome. Let me just mark that here. Put that over here. All right, we're back. I tell you what, it's so much of a mess in here. It's terrible. I really got to clean this out. But first, I got to clean up my yard first. Well, no, my peppers. Got to finish those peppers. So the next channel is Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Awesome, awesome channel. They focus on nutrition and finance. But you know what? When you look at their chat and you go about the about page and everything about everything, it's very thorough. You don't find that in many channels. You don't find that in my channel. It just shows you all the time they spend on their channel. And it's just very, very thorough. Now, Corey he's been blind, I believe, since he was 18, somewhere around after high school. And Laquita, I know I probably screw it up, but I always screw up names. I'm terrible with names. And it's just a very intelligent woman. And I'm actually lurking in her channel a lot. They play these little games too during the chat. We're going to welcome them in. So there's Laquita. How you doing? Now, did I pronounce your name wrong?
No, you got it right. Absolutely. Thank you.
Right.
Hello, Jujubee. I call you Jujubee, but tell me how you say it because I've been hearing it.
It's Jujubee or Juliana. It's fine. It's all good.
All right.
And Joe, with a name like Kozlowski, you better be getting everybody's name right once they tell you. I'm just saying. You ain't got no business saying people's names wrong. Once you hear it once, I'm tasking you with that.
You know what? My name is Laquita, and so I'm really big on pronouncing names correctly. So thank you. I'm with you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. I got you.
I tell you what, I'm terrible. I'm so bad. And thank you for doing that, for pronouncing names right. I've always been bad. And like Juliana said, my last name's Kozlowski. Everybody has my name wrong all the time. My last name. And so I'm like, I should be really good at it, like pronouncing names, right? So now, Corey, were you guys together during high school or during school or beforehand, or like tell us a little story about Corey? Is he in the background?
So I'm since I'm driving, I'm having some really challenging issues right now with connectivity. My apologies. I don't know if you can hear me very well, but please just let's just take a moment to, I guess, make sure that the connection is good. You tell me, can you two hear me, Joe and Jujubee?
Yes, you sound good.
Okay.
You sound fine.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm picking up my daughter from work. I didn't expect this, which is why I'm here alone tonight. But I would like to say that, can you please repeat the question? Because there was interference while you were saying that question, please.
Okay. Now, when did you meet your husband? And her husband's name is Corey. How did you guys meet?
Yeah, sure. So I'll talk about that a little bit because actually the channel is under a complete rebrand right now, which means we're throwing Blind Guy in the trash, we're throwing his wife in the trash, and we've got to renew the whole channel, right? Because we're going to, instead of talking about nutritional health and business wealth, we're going to pretty much focus on nutritional health. And we'll still talk about the business wealth, but from a nutritional perspective. And so that means that, Corey and we've worked really hard on this channel. We've been together since we were 17 years old. He did lose his sight at 19 because we went to the same high school. And that was way back in the 90s. That's all I'll say about the time frame.
Me too. It's okay. I went to high school in the 90s. I got you.
Yeah, it was in the 90s because I'm a spring chicken. I'm sticking to that.
We're both younger than Joe. That's all that matters.
You guys look great.
Oh, thank you. And I do want to extend my sincere condolences to you, Jujubee, because I am way too nosy to have gone through what you've gone through with all of those ear infections or all those ear issues that you've had. I'm so nosy. I'm so curious. I need my hearing, and I sympathize with you. And so let me just say that I
Yeah.
love the drop.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So with nutrition, how are you going to start guiding your channel? Like, are you going to be going like off health issues or what the well-being? Like how are you going to center your whole channel around with health?
Absolutely. So we've already been doing that pretty much. Like when I have several business coaches and content coaches, and they've been guiding us to this point so that, you know, Blind Guy, his wife, like Corey and I, from the time he lost his sight to up until 1998, we realized that, okay, let's start something, like let's educate. I have a passion for educating, Corey does as well. So our channel will still focus on the educational aspect of nutritional health. So like already our website, blindguyhiswife.com, which is also going to have to change. The name will change, but the focus still changes because the focus stays the same because we already have a lot of food resources, nutritional resources, as far as food games. We already have a lot of references there with nutritional information, downloads, free downloads for people. And so we still have all of that. And we'll still be doing interviews with people. We'll just come more from a nutritional focus. So we love tech. That's the thing. We still love tech and all of the different solutions. So we'll definitely still include those as well and just come at it from a food angle. So this way, it's more about nutrition. Like we've been doing live cooking or at least food shows on Thursdays. That'll still continue as well.
Yeah, I really enjoy when you guys talk about everything like that. I really, because it's thorough. It's so thorough, and it's so easy. You know what you guys when you guys talk about everything, and it's just because we all, like my channel is a gardening channel for the most part, right? And you talk about like why you garden, you want to be healthy, right? And everybody today has all these health issues, so why not go to a channel that it's going to help you out. Stop going to McDonald's. Stop going to these fast food places,
Absolutely. You know what? And so that's the thing that we noticed. Like we were focusing on nutritional health and business wealth because for the longest time since 1998, we started a storytelling business together. And so with that storytelling business, we were doing things like all kinds of presentations for professional development at universities, libraries, museums, and whatnot. So we have a lot of experience in front of the camera and on stage. We've done our own productions and whatnot. And so we definitely have an affinity for communicating. So that's the easy part for us. And then with all of the different tools we have nowadays, like StreamYard, like Canva, of course, everybody uses Canva. If you don't, I don't know where you are. And I won't talk bad about you. I'm just going to say, come on over to the light. So that being said, it's very easy to talk about things on the channel because being in front of others, being on the microphone, delivering information is, it's a skill. It's really something that we've worked on for years. Like I said, since 1998. So 25 years into this, that's where we are. I think the only thing that we're going to change is that on Fridays, we have been showcasing some of our past live streaming and on stage things, like our story times, so to speak. And so those will just shift more to to focus on food because a huge part of classes over this 25-year experience has been food at rehearsals, at stage plays, at shows, while we're traveling. We're always eating. I'm always taking pictures and video clips. So we'll definitely still come from a nutritional focus in that way and try to keep all of the things that people have liked in there and just keep it going,
No, I have a family history of gout. And it's not just because of food.
Just a second. I'm going to mute while you say that because my daughter's getting out. Go ahead. I'm listening about the gout.
So, and it's not just because of the food I eat. It's because of stress. If I had surgery, I would get a gout after. If I had I don't drink. I mean, most people get gout after they drink or have gravy or shellfish. I still get gout. I got gout last week, and I had it in my finger. And is there anything nutrition wise that you would say that could really help deal with gout without the all the problems I have with stress?
Absolutely. Gout is like you're saying, it's one of those things where we think it's like just stress or just food. But I will say that, and I've had, people that I know deal with gout mainly in their feet, not their fingers. But I get you. It does occur in different places. And so nutritionally, I'm sorry, I'm parking and I'm usually like a whiz because I have a big truck. And
Just be safe. That's all we
No.
ask.
No. Let me tell you something. You back up until you hit something, GGB. That's a rule.
Been there, done that, bought the postcard. We're not doing it again.
Right. Unless we do it tonight. But anyways, so nutritionally for gout, I got my Food for Life certification last year. And that means like, oh, great, I can cook, I can, present cooking classes. And they talk about gout in there, like as part of the training, as part of the ongoing education. And they really talk about specifically increasing your fruits and vegetables. It's crazy, but they are so healing. It's the fiber in them that pull out the toxins, and it works. Also eliminating the animal products, like literally all animal products, because a lot of us, it's not just the meat. Like a lot of people say, oh yeah, meatless Monday, but a lot of times it's the butter, the yogurt, the sour cream, the whipped cream, all of those other forms of animal products that we don't really think of as animal products because they're packaged differently. And so I will say that has shown when people like strictly just bring their diet down, especially if you have a trigger like yourself, like stress, that stress gives you that inflammatory response, and the fiber and the antioxidants in fruits and vegetables are automatically anti-inflammatory. So they're healing. They're going to pull out those different toxins and whatnot. So, if you know that you're stressed, if you know you're going to have a surgery, if you know that something's happening, this is where you can say, well, shucks, let me just, for a few days, let's just say 3 days, try it, because your body is an amazing machine. And when I say machine, it's really like we're like science projects, but we don't see ourselves as that because we look good in the mirror, like you and Julie. Like she said, you both smile and your eyes squint. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah, we're cute, and you don't even think about it that, oh, I'm a cute science experiment. But that's what you are, Joe. You and Julie.
I like squinting. Now, before I answer another question,
Okay.
with Corey, does he, being blind, there's two parts of this. Does he cook anything, or you have everything prepared for him?
No. Yes and no. So there's a combination of things. Like, we've been together a very long time. So even when he could see, we were dating. But Corey's always been like a dude that was just about convenience. And then I always loved to cook, even when I couldn't cook, even when I wasn't a great cook. So when we got married, and even before we got married, I was pretty much, the chief cook, like the head bottle washer. And what's that saying, GGB? Do you know that? I get it wrong every time. When you're like the head chief.
But now you said it, I can't tell you.
So,
you asked me.
Right. And so Corey, he went to the Center for the Blind after losing his sight, because in 2019, now I gave too much information. In 1994, not 2019, in 1994, he started having headaches, blurred vision, and over a very short period of time while he was in X-ray school, he lost his sight, and it was over maybe a period of 6 to 10 weeks. I get the timing wrong. So he had to stop X-ray school, radiology school, and go to the Center for the Blind. And from there, they did teach him like basic cooking skills, how to use his talking software. That's how he was able to graduate university while totally blind, summa cum laude, and all these wonderful things. But even now, after that, you know, he can make a sandwich. He can use the microwave. We just put tape on that way he can just, you know, press it as many times as he needs to. He also does operate the stove. We have a gas stove, so he can hear when it clicks and the whoosh of the flame. And he'll boil potatoes or boil water for the coffee, you know, to make coffee in the morning. But because I'm still have always been the main cook, I do cook. We do have a toaster oven, and he uses that quite a bit as well. So if he wants to make a toasted sandwich, you know, because we are plant-based, whole food plant-based, we stopped eating animals for his health. And that has gotten him off his blood pressure medicines in a very short amount of time, 3 weeks, and he's down 100 pounds. But he uses the toaster oven as well to reheat the food I've cooked, or to make like avocado toast, you know, to toast the bread and stuff like that.
Now, do you have a tendency, like you could see him doing things and you're always one step ahead of him, where you could just help him because you know his tendencies of doing things? Like you could just like
almost always. You know what? I'm very observant, and so definitely having 3 children, I just try to be honed in on details a lot. So even at home, you know, a lot of times he's walking and I'll say stop, because people think that folks who can't see, they have this great sense of direction. But even at home, he gets off base a little bit. And if he's about to bump into something, and usually he doesn't run face first into anything. However, he will, you know, hit the corner of something. And so a lot of times, you know, I'll say stop. As far as cooking, since he doesn't do that very much, I don't have to tell him too much in the kitchen. He's really good in the kitchen because it's so basic, you know, as far as what he's doing, whether it's making coffee, he knows where the milk and the sugar is. What else does he know in the kitchen? The toaster oven and the microwave, those are pretty stable. Wiping off the counter is another story. I think that's just an epidemic.
It's too funny.
I'm going to tell you, I can see and I hit the corner of everything in my house. So I don't know. Maybe he's clumsy like me. I'm just saying.
I really do enjoy your channel, and it's just I look at it sometimes and I'm like, I see 17 people in the chat or something. I know you're changing. I love your email, by the way.
Thank you.
And I absolutely love that, because it's like, oh, look at that. Okay, let me follow this. Let me see this. Let me check that out. And I would just wish I had more time to really, because I go crazy when I'm into something. You know, I grow or something, you know.
Yeah, no, you know what, Joe? The feeling is mutual. Like I'm often lurking on your channel as well. And, you know, the same way, like you're saying about you love our channel and the segments that we've created, it's just been from experience. You know, we realize that when people are watching something, they want variety, attention spans are short, and also you want to really give the best value. And that's another thing that I really like about your show, as far as I've learned a lot. You know, I didn't realize there were so many peppers. There were so many varieties of tomatoes. And I thought I was the only crazy person. I love to drive, and I love food so much that I often DoorDash, so that I can get into different spaces. And that's a huge way that I will use to quote unquote drive for dollars. That's like an investor's term. People that do real estate, they call it driving for dollars, where they're like scouting for different areas. So what I'll do is I'll use those times to pitch my nutrition initiatives. You know, like, hey, you know, we have a channel, and I also am a Food for Life and certified Food for Life instructor, and I have this opportunity coming up. Are there ways for me to plug into this area, or for your programs here? I'll pull their websites up, you know, if I see that I'm delivering to a business, and it works. It works, and you get paid to like sell yourself. It's great. I love it, anyways.
So you're talking about DoorDash. One last question before I know Jules is here. Michael's here already. I Uber as a second job.
Mm-hmm.
I need health advice. When I have always been a stress eater, but when you're bored, Juliana goes, "Oh, just text me." That's what she said this
Put
weekend.
the sandwich down and text me, Joe. I don't sleep. Just let's go. If your fingers are busy, you can't be doing this anyway.
Right.
So when I'm say stressed during Ubering and I want to put something in my mouth, or what do you suggest?
Yeah, so this is where I always preach fruits and vegetables. So even though we don't eat animal products, I'm not like, hey, everybody be vegan or what have you, and this, that, and the third. Nope. I always stress fruits and vegetables because most people have not explored all the different ways you can have fruits and vegetables. So you can get those, and I've seen these at the Dollar Tree. They have these, and they are processed, but hey, it's not a chip. It's a green bean where they like freeze dry them. You know what I'm talking about, Jujubee? Is that
The Dollar Tree one uses soybean oil, though. I'm just gonna say that's my nemesis. I'm just
thank you for that. Yeah, no, thank you for the details because some people are like soybean oil, no problem. Like me, I would eat it. And
soy and gluten are the devil for me. So I cannot, like, my body physically, I won't move for 3 days. So I'm reading everything all the time. Seed oils are a no-go for me. But
right.
anyway.
Yeah, no, I get it because the same way Julie was talking about the beeswax and just the bee landing on her, it's like, wow, there are extremes out here and I get it. People have their allergies, people have their sensitivities. And so for you, Joe, you have your preferences as well. You're like, I just want to crunch. I just want to snack. So what I would definitely implore you to do is look at all the different ways you can snack on fruits and vegetables. So of course you don't want to overdo it with dried fruits because they are concentrated. You're not getting the full experience, but meanwhile, look at all the different ways you can possibly explore fruits and vegetables, because of course crunchy things, like, let's just say if you like carrots, my daughter loves them, right? So she a lot of times will snack on carrots and hummus. So very different types of dip, and different vegetables that you like. Since you can do those hot peppers, you know what I mean, that might be something you go for. You like the crunch of those. But really explore all the different fruits and vegetables, and there's so many different exotic fruits, as you know, so many variations of tomatoes and cucumbers and the foods that we think we know but we don't. Really explore that and see how you can eat more of those because they're low in calories, they're high in nutrients, so you'll be getting all the vitamins, the nutrients that you need to heal, because we're always healing, whenever we're sleeping. But why not heal when we're eating as well, instead of just grabbing chips that are ultra processed? Or I don't know what you snack on. I'm just saying,
Well, when I'm dieting, I do like carrots, but you always put them in that dip, and I'm like, I don't want the dip. But the hummus, I like hummus, so maybe I should be dipping my carrots in hummus.
Hummus or peanut butter. That's the one too. Peanut butter, do it. 2 cents. If you're dieting, trying not because boredom that you're dealing with, ferment sugar gum, because you have pepper in your mouth, less like put any in your mouth. When you brush your, do you want to eat scrags? Not right after, right? Have to wait that palate cleansing situation. I will say on the complete opposite end of you. I'm animal products, fruits and vegetables, and not some. I think the real health aspect, eating whole foods. My husband once told one of my doctors, she doesn't eat food, she only eats ingredients. And I'm like, that was like the truest statement ever. It's like, you buy these things and I cut them up and cook them and put them all together. Like, I don't buy the potato chips and the cookies and the cracker. Like that just isn't what I eat, because it all has junk in it. And I think the whole world would be a whole lot better if we could just step away from the junk, right?
Yeah.
Like, it tastes good and it lights up your brain, but regardless of what side of the spectrum, we're on the same eat whole foods, put the junk back side of the fence. Like, so I appreciate you for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I will just finish up with a quick piggyback to say likewise. I agree with you. I eat a lot of ingredients, and I'm like you, Joe. I'm a nurse first. I've been a nurse for 30 years now, and I didn't know half of this stuff about nutrition and health until I really started digging into it, just like literally 2020. You learn a little bit along the way, but most things were pills and treatments and wounds and ventilators. But now I'm like, wait a minute, food can fix most of this, and the ingredients can actually fix most of this. So really, that like she's saying, like Juliana's saying, dig into, well, what else do I like? Peanut butter, sun butter, hummus. I'm trying to think of some of the other non-dairy dips that we like. But yeah, check it out, definitely.
I will definitely. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy you came on, and you're driving too. So I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate your channel, and I tell Corey I said hello.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Thank you, and hopefully we could have you on in the near future, and keep on going over your channel. I can't wait to see it grow and the new ventures you have there. Even though it's basically the same, but it's new. It's you got to change up your channel just a little bit and do different things. And that's what you're doing.
Right. Thank you again for this opportunity. I do appreciate it. Congratulations on your wedding on 8/8/23. And I'm putting too many dates in there. And so, yes, and you all enjoy your night. I'm going back to the chat, but I'll finish lurking because that way I can watch from the background. But thank you, everyone in the chat as well. I love you all.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. That was awesome. I can't say I'm terrible at saying goodbye.
It's the Southern goodbye, the goodbye at the door, the goodbye on the porch, the goodbye at the car, the hug in the seat, right? Like it's the Southern goodbye slowly.
So right now I see Jules is in the background. I do not see Boone. Michael, MB Heritage Farms, he's been in the chat and out and in the chat and out. So I don't see him right now, but I do not see Boone or Michael. But I see Jules in the channel, so we're gonna put him on in a second. And but I tell you what, her channel, it's awesome, and we all should be thinking about our health. Especially as you get older. I'm 53. I'm old. I should be really concentrating on my health a lot more than anything. And yeah, I highly recommend you guys check out that channel. Check out the descriptions. Check out all the work they put in their channel. There's just so much work put in. And so go check out Blind Guy, his wife, their life. And it's going to be even better. So here we have, I don't see Boone yet, but I have Jules and Michael's here at MB Heritage Farm. So here is Jules. This is Jules Gardening Tips.
Hey, everybody.
Michael at MB Heritage Farm. Welcome in, guys. So good to see you. Thank you for coming on.
How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing good. I'm almost finished planting my peppers. I'm so far behind. It's absolutely crazy.
So why didn't you tell me to turn my phone sideways and it'd be bigger?
Isn't it great you can use your phone and go online and do all that stuff?
Why didn't you tell me? I'm like, why am I so little? No, I'll better. It only took an hour and 43 minutes to figure it out.
Joanna, you're always good. It's always I'm so happy to have you on and be my co-host today. Again, for the second time. That's amazing. There has been a
customer.
So Michael and Jules, how did you guys live in North Carolina? How did you guys meet?
I think Michael had a what was that? Fall barbecue, some kind of challenge. I can't remember. And then we discovered we're 45 minutes away from each other. Something like that. It's been years now.
Yep, that's how it went. Was that cook-off contest? Yeah.
It was a fall thing, right? Oh, he's smoking. Was it meat or was it stew? I can't remember.
It was any kind of meat. It just had to be outside on nothing electric. You know what I'm saying? But
that was back during the height of the pandemic there, Joe and Juliana. It was 2020. It's hard to believe it's been 3 years.
You know, it always seems like when you guys talk or hang out and do things, it seems like you guys been friends for like 20, 30 years. And so that's pretty. How about Boone? The same time period too? You guys been friends, or you guys been friends for longer, Boone?
All I remember about that is I told Vin Child that she needs to meet Michael and Bobby Jean. I may have met her through Arkansas Woodcutter. I think I did actually. I think Mark told me to check out Boone.
I love.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
LB? Does that sound right? Something like that. It's been years, Joe. We're buddies now. We're all buddies. All three of us are. Yeah, we were. Mother's Day we were out at Michael's farm, and June 4th we were at my place here. It's called Meat Fest.
Meat Fest.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm coming.
Sorry, Laquita.
When's the next one? I'm coming.
First Saturday in June. Just smoked meat. It started as we smoked, Beth and I, Chef Beth on the couch there. We smoked the meat, and if you want sides, you bring them. But this was 11th or 12th year. Can't remember anymore. But lots of people bring, we've deployed the meat production. We still smoke a lot, but other people bring ribs or whatever.
I had my first BLT of the season this year, and I sent Joe a picture, and I'm like, with bacon that I cured and smoked myself, sliced myself, tomatoes I grew myself. I won't own the lettuce because that came from my next door neighbor because mine's full of aphids, and I was not looking for extra protein. And butter was mayonnaise I made myself on a low-carb, gluten-free, soy-free, sugar-free bun that I made myself that doesn't taste like trash.
That is fantastic.
I was like, so I had all the things. I'm like, this is the sandwich I've been waiting for since October. If you know, you know.
That's cool. That'd be a good feel, right?
It was delicious. It was so good.
Like you made all that stuff yourself,
yes.
right? And that's a great feeling when that happens. Absolutely.
And Michael, when did you like your chicken guardian, your tips on chickens? I want to have chickens. I love the tips because I'm learning a lot from watching your channel. And when did you start? Did you grow up having chickens? Did you just start to have them a couple of years? Like what's the history with having chickens?
I've pretty much been around them my whole life. Like I put in the new book I wrote, I don't remember a time where chickens was like not ever in my life, And then no matter where you go with family members or even friends, everywhere you went, everybody had chickens. It was just like a normal thing, But it wasn't until I was probably 12 or 13, we moved to Virginia out of North Carolina. And my mom been single for a long time. So my stepdad was actually, later on, I figured out he was a pioneer of poultry. One of the kings that started all the really good information that went out in books. And he had a farm with about 300 chickens. And when we moved in, that was my job while he was out on the road talking about chickens, was to take care of his chickens. And a lot of those chickens, like way back in the day, still was worth 10 grand each. So I had like a big responsibility. Later on, when I was 17, I took over the breeding program. So I used most of my information came from him, and then when he passed on, it was like research. I've never stopped learning about chickens today. Still,
that's amazing.
So if you want your chicken resource, you go to Michael. You go to MP Heritage Farms. That's
this guy.
That's right.
Chicken whisperer right there. I have 2 birds because of Michael. And it's one of the best things I did.
There.
In fact, they were out doing their thing this evening. Had them out taking care of ticks and mites and whatnot around the yard. Of course, use the manure. It's really a net zero. It's on a blog I have. Actually, if you're gardening and look at your coop as a capital investment, the ROI is huge. And it was really huge last year with the egg prices,
Yep.
So if you're gardening, you're displacing buying like aged manure because you're getting the manure. So buying the feed instead of buying what you're going to buy anyway, so it's net zero. So the eggs essentially come out free.
I like to think.
Now, Michael, using the chicken fertilizer, how long do you use that for a whole year? Like, how do you resource it back into your garden?
When we first start, we really do it different than a lot of people do. But if you're saving it from like your chicken suppose not being in the garden, because we rotate our chickens, or we used to, we don't anymore. And I'll explain a little bit of that because of Jules in a minute, but we always rotate. So in the fall, we would just sacrifice our fall crops, swap the chickens over into a fenced in garden, and they stayed there all fall, all winter long, and half of the spring. And while they was there, we dumped a lot of leaves and compost in there and let them break it all up, covered it up and let it sit, just really short, because the chickens is in there till spring. But by the time we move them out, it's already aged enough where it's not going to be hot. And then we did our garden. But if you don't have your chickens in a way where you can move them to the garden, you do kind of got to mix it in with normal compost, or you do got to let it sit for a while. If it's just straight compost chunked in, or pure chicken poop and a pile of leaves, and you're not really making compost, you just want it to break down. We always at least wait a good 6 months before we ever attempt to using it that way. But if you're utilizing it in compost, like you normally do, adding it every 3 months, watching your temperature and all that, then you're perfectly fine to use it when you're using your compost.
So during an Uber ride, this is awesome. I love this. I can't wait to call this guy back. During an Uber ride yesterday, talking to a guy that had come back from a wedding. He owns a mushroom farm. I was like, oh, so what do you do with the compost? I said, do you have any extra? He goes, yeah, we do right now. Do you want some? I go, yeah, sounds great.
Absolutely.
I couldn't believe the conversation. It was like, wow, I never thought that was going to turn that way. So I'm going to get a whole bunch of mushroom compost actually
Karma.
very soon.
Engagements in the car and mushroom compost, like full circle.
From a wedding, no less. You never know what you talk to when you get an Uber.
But if you're saving chicken poop, as far as like you're using it for compost or using it in the garden, after a little, well, just a couple of, well, no, it was probably Jules. 4 months ago, we started talking about it. Jules stumbled on the information, and he can probably tell you why. But anyway, my stepdad, like I said, has always taught everything about chickens, and he would always make sure he would rotate the chickens through the garden, but he would always use them 4 years. Now, that 4-year stretch could have been broke down into 10 years, but 4 years, regardless of how long you stretch it out or it being consecutive, and then he would just stop. So I just repeated the same thing and never really knew the information why, until I talked to my bestie right here beside of me, who was telling me that he learned somewhere else from a professional that after using chicken poop for so long in the garden, it can start to build up minerals such as milk in the soil, which is really hard to get rid of. So that's just something to keep in mind, and that's what I was talking about earlier with we don't really use the chickens anymore in the garden, but when we do, we always just stuck them in there and sacrifice the cold crops.
Yeah, it'll load up on copper and zinc. There's a video. If anybody that heard that's interested, go to my YouTube drop page, and at the bottom I have researched garden tips, and it came out on North Carolina State Extension, and it's directed towards commercial farmers, but it still applies to us. But if you use it for prolonged periods, you're going to build up copper and zinc to levels that then make the field much less fertile. Your yields will go down dramatically. And for us, small gardens, it could go down to nothing. Too much copper and zinc. Yep.
Now, Jules, how long have you been singing? Like you were part of a band for the longest time. And that's how, what, the first time I went to your channel, the first time I listened to you, it was not even gardening. It was, you were singing. I'm like, man, this is pretty freaking good. This is awesome. I'm at work for 16 hours. I hear this guy singing. I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
Boy, I don't know, man. My first memories of playing a guitar were playing my dad's guitar and playing his guitar. I wasn't in grade school. I don't know, 4, 5. I can remember I played live the first time when I was 12.
Wow.
At a church, of course. Everybody starts at a church.
Of course they do. They have to be nice to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
did you
yeah,
think you were
pretty
the
much
best thing
forever.
ever when you were singing? Or did you think like, oh man, I need to work on this or work on that?
No. I didn't sing until I had to. I'm not a singer, and I'm not really a guitar player. I'm a bass player. When I was younger, teens and 20s, I was the bass player. Because back when I was growing up, I did not graduate high school in the 90s, Lakita. A little earlier. But when I was growing up, everybody wanted to be a guitar hero.
Yeah, it's true.
And I knew how to play guitar, obviously. But I took up the bass, and that got me into many, many, many bands because it's hard to find a bass player. So I wasn't a singer. I sang backup, but
yeah, I got you.
Yep.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a great combination when you're on your channel talking about gardening tips, and then all of a sudden you're playing. It's like, man, this is the best thing in the freaking world. I mean, how could you beat this?
I think David the Good's got me beat. He's got some funny songs.
Compost your enemies.
Yes.
Compost your, that's what now, I'll just let you know, Juliana. So Julie and I, this has been going on over for a year. When we move out of New Jersey, we're moving to North Carolina, Virginia, probably more towards North Carolina because my nephew lives there. And we got to get out of Jersey. Jersey, it's too expensive.
You think?
We got to oh my God. $500 for a hotel room for a night without anything. It's freaking nuts.
Wow.
I mean, it's really insane down the Jersey Shore.
Well, you can stay at Michael's place for $350 a night. So
the beach houses for a 3-bedroom house down for a beach house go for like it's just obscene. It's like $20,000 some places, the more expensive places. Like, hey, you want to stay from my house for a week for $20,000? Hey, sounds good to me.
Yeah. Don't get me started on the economy. Definitely going this way.
Yep.
The middle's disappearing. It's going this way.
Exactly.
Sadly so.
So we're looking to move to North Carolina, and that's where you guys are located. So I remember when you guys were talking about when you guys had a meetup last year, or no, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This last year I tore my Achilles. I was really looking forward to going down there. I was like, okay, I'm going to North Carolina. Let's go.
A friend of ours came over Mother's Day weekend to the farm, Michael and Bobby Jean's farm. And I believe she said she had never been east of the Mississippi. But if she had, not much. Anyway, that visit changed her perspective on where to live next. Very green. And really, in Carolina, as you're going if you're on the interstates, it's a lot like the population belt where you guys are. This boom, 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 boom. But literally, you go 5 miles off and you're back in the country. North Carolina's a really interesting state. And down east, like east of Raleigh, that's just the way it was, I don't know, 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of development out there. 95 is basically just, it goes through so you can get to Florida.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. There's Fayetteville there, and that's only something because of the military base. East North Carolina is really wide open. But not on the coast. When you go out on the coast, you get back to high prices.
My nephew lives in Raleigh, south of Raleigh in Clayton. So that is east of you, right? So you're west of him, I believe.
Yes, by a couple. Yeah,
So,
hour 45, something like that.
Yeah, you're gonna love it here, Coach. It's like you're having 2 grow zones. It's the best gardening place, or the you
Yep.
know one of the top zones. So
It sure is.
You'll love it here.
yeah, I can't wait to tell my wife I could, instead of 300 tomato plants, I could have 1,000.
Wait till after the wedding. Simmer down. Simmer down.
Honey, you wouldn't believe this. This is a great deal. I got all these seeds. They gotta be used. So, Michael, how's the family? I haven't, I follow your show and everything like that, but I haven't been glued to Facebook. I've been off Facebook basically for last year. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, me and Jules always like to congratulate when people do that, but everything's good here. Bobby's good. Everything, business is wide open as usual. We did knock out a lot of those nighttime clients y'all heard me crying about in the live stream because I couldn't get nothing down here. So everything is great. So I can't really complain, really.
All right. So speed round. What are your 2 favorite things to smoke since you're talking about Meat Fest? Like if you had to pick one thing, what would it be?
Okay, well that's very easy. We start on Wednesday. We smoke 2 pork butts. Then we smoke 2 chickens on Thursday, and then Friday we make Georgia Brunswick stew. Let it set up overnight, and then we serve it Saturday. And once you have that, it'll be Sunday. You'll wake up on my couch naked. You never know.
So you're in Brunswick, right? Yeah. So you can put all the ingredients into one. Got it. How do Michael?
I know you think I'm saying it's just because that's my best friend, but when I went over to my very first Meat Fest, I had a bowl of it, and that's actually became my favorite. I did a whole video on it, trying to get more traffic back over there to his recipe. It's the best stuff I've ever had, and I never had it.
Oh, there's a recipe.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to go find it.
So it's a little different than normal Brunswick stew, but all the food is like 5-star anyway. But that was my favorite. So
I've only had it in Georgia. So how is yours different?
Than Georgia?
Besides being superior, than Georgia.
Well, I've come across people since I made the video and claiming this, that, and the other, but a Georgia Brunswick stew does not use potato. I'm from Virginia originally. So Brunswick stew, Virginia style, has a lot of potato. Georgia has no potatoes, right? So there's a lot of corn and tomato, very sweet, and the meat is smoked, and that's the key. That's why we start smoking on Wednesday. You cannot shortcut the recipe. If you try to shortcut it, it's not going to taste the way you want it. You got to smoke, you got to make it, and you got to let it set up so the juices render. And then on that 4th day, it's heaven. Isn't it, Michael?
If you want to know my best description for it, even though it don't sound really barbecue-y or whatever, but to me, it's like a barbecue festival in a bowl. Like everything you would get from a big barbecue festival in one bowl, kind of like a stew/soup. It's crazy good. I mean, really, that's my favorite. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
I'll have to go check it out.
And don't hurry the smoking either.
No.
Do not hurry the smoking. Keep it low and slow. Low and slow, an hour a pound. Yeah, that's an all day, Juliana. That is, let's see, smoking the butts is literally all day.
Yeah.
And then half a day on the chicken, and then another half a day on the stew. Then you let it sit up. But actual literally smoking stuff and fixing stuff is 2 full work days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
You will never get that at a restaurant.
No. I've had it at a restaurant, and it was in Georgia. It had no potatoes because potatoes make me ill, so it worked out, and it was delicious. But I was like, I wonder how real this is. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm very jaded, but I'm also a Jersey girl at heart, so I'm like, I know I don't know.
Did the restaurant was the restaurant in a concrete block building?
No, but it did look like it would be sketchy if it was going to pass the health code inspection. So I mean, I was in the right neighborhood.
Probably real.
I was in the right neighborhood, if you know what I mean.
You could tell a good barbecue joint in North Carolina if it's on a secondary road and it's a concrete building and they don't have a place to sit down. You got to get it out a window.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you want to eat.
Yep. I learned that lesson in Hawaii with all the food trucks. I was like, no, I don't want a tetanus shot with my food. And by the time we left that island, I was like, oh, give me all the food trucks that haven't moved in 30 years. Give them all to me. I was like, I'm no longer judging your exterior. Just give it to me.
So you guys talked about butt, but what do you use for your seasonings on your butt?
Well, Michael's got a great smoked chicken recipe, but we keep it simple, really. Mustard, you smother it with mustard to keep your seasons on there, obviously. Brown sugar, salt, and then we'll rub in some sage. That's about it. It's not so much about that rub as it is about the wood and the smoking. I had a peach tree, my own peach tree. I cut it down and used it, but it's gone now. So I'm using a plum tree, which again is my own plum tree. When you're smoking old style, not this stuff you see on TV, the electric and the, all the control. When you're just smoking with wood, you want real fresh wood, not chip crap coming from the Sporting Academy or whatever. You want some aged, about a year old. And honestly, Joe, within the first 2 hours, you get that smoke in there and get the smoky flavor in the ring. That's all the smoke you really need. So the seasoning to us, we do brown sugar, salt, and some sage, but we're really going for the smoke side of it, Also, I know there's a big debate out there, but the fat cap's got to go up. That's how you do it. The fat cap goes up.
And then self-base itself. I'm with you on that.
Yes.
And if there is no fat cap, that's what you put bacon on top for. You make a fat cap.
Bingo.
But I have one of those electric smokers with the pellet wood, but I do buy the better stuff. I'm just saying I am that person. But anyway, there's room for everyone at the table. I recognize that mine and yours are not the same. I recognize that.
Yeah.
I bow.
we try to keep it real, but even still, we're using a grill. I mean, if you really wanted to keep it real, you'd have one of the runners, smoke pit with blocks and then a chimney on the end, smoking right on the ground. That's keeping it real.
Yeah. Well, I have lots of medical issues and being babysitting for 2 days straight, a fire and heavy lifting and heat, and that's not in my wheelhouse when I overheat easily. So being able to do the controlled temperature and controlled, I got to do what I can do, but still, yes, definitely. I can recognize it's not the same, but it's
good.
Way better than a propane grill or a George Foreman.
Lordy.
Just saying.
So, Jules, how did you start gardening? How did you get into gardening? It was always something in your life? Was it like what was?
Well, like Michael and chickens and me and music, it's just family
life.
I mean, yeah. Everybody in my family, including my father, of course, but everybody, it's just what you do. Yeah. Gardening, picking, fishing, hunting, and picking times too. Picking wild stuff and picking guitars is just what you are. My family's from Appalachia.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah,
a little foraging here, a little finding this, looking at that. I love that kind of life. New Jersey, we sort of have that, but sort of it's getting kicked out.
Oh yeah.
It's so sad how you can live a life some way growing up and it's totally gone in front of your eyes before you know it.
Go hang out in my mom's backyard, Joe. You can forage all you want. You can hunt, you can fish, you can forage. It's all back there. It's all private wetlands.
Me and Beth were driving back from Charlotte. We're north of a neighborhood called Noda. I think it was last summer. And we got up on this stoplight. It's urban, concrete, trash, strip malls. And I looked over and I saw some blackberries. And I really wanted to jump out and grab them, but.
So what is Chef Beth's best meal that you like, you could have every single moment of the day, you could have it anytime you want? Like, what's the thing that you like, wow, this is
that's really hard, man. She is a chef, so that's a very tough question.
Like in New Jersey, we could have pizza any time of the day, anytime you want, you know.
I got it. Low country boil.
Jules, we could be friends. I'm just saying. We could be friends. I would eat at your house any day. Just saying.
She makes a hell of a low country boil. Yes, sir. But it is, I had to choose, Joe. Yep. You made me choose. I'm not really choosing that. You made me choose. It is awesome, though.
You know, it's funny. I could have an egg omelet every single part of the day, all the time, every single day, every single meal.
That's why you need chickens, man.
I got to get them. I went over to my brother's house yesterday to his daughter's 2-year. They have chickens there. And all of a sudden I see the whole thing of eggs. There was like 40 eggs. And I'm like, I could grab some of those, all right? And I'm like, I miss this. This is because I kind of grew up with it. I grew up next to a farm. They had all animals, cows there, you know, they had everything. But that was only until I was about 11, 12 years old. And then it became townhouses. But growing up to that, that's what I was used to baling hay all the time, you know.
Right.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I loved growing up.
I got a dozen eggs that were laid that morning on Thursday when I took my daughter cherry picking for her birthday. So excited. All the pretty colors, the green ones, the blue ones, you name it. Came home, went to go make my omelet with them, and my stove was throwing fireballs. So I'm literally staring at a dozen beautiful farm fresh butt nuggets, and I can't cook them. I'm like, I'm not so sure the eggs in the air fryer. I don't know that I could quite do that one. I'm like, maybe I'm sure somebody's got an air fryer, but I'm like that. I don't know that we want to try that. Hashtag first world problems.
Pico de gallo. Yeah, she does make a good pico de gallo. How'd you know that, Barb?
There you go. Well,
yeah, are they any good? I feel like I would overdo it and mess them up. I don't know.
So, Michael, how many chickens do you actually have now, and how many roosters?
Well, you're kind of asking at the wrong time. We're doing the big reset. We did a video not long ago about it, so
okay, I missed that.
I'll probably have maybe 13 here, like actual outside chickens that's doing eggs, and you know, we got 5. The 5 that I keep nagging about how much money I spend on, we have those still in the brooder, so they're not active yet. We don't really have a lot, but normally here on our homestead at any time it could be somewhere between 40 to 75 chickens for the most part.
It's a lot of fun to visit. He's got a variety. When he's flush, he's got a variety of breeds. And also, Michael's being bashful. Tell him what else you got, man. Animal-wise.
Well, we just added goats to the homestead. So we have 2 Nigerian dwarf goats that we're planning on breeding in March so we can get some more babies. So we had that, and then we're looking, as soon as we get our first kids dropped, we're adding bacon seed after that. So yeah, we got a lot going on. We're just trying to make sure we get it all in content, which will probably be stretched out for the rest of this year.
And how's everything growing in the garden?
The garden, that's another thing. We've neglected to put out the garden videos because we got so much chicken videos coming out right now because of the new book. But the garden is doing really good. I keep telling Jules, because we talk on it daily anyway. We're like family. So I was telling him, this is the best year so far. I think it was like 3 days later, Jules called me and said, listen, you know, we had that big windstorm. I was like, yeah, we had winds like up to 60 mile an hour. I didn't know. We had some beans that wouldn't trellis yet. He's like, well, go check your stuff because the wind was really bad. So I go out and look. We lost all the sunflowers we planted. They was broke. And then we had some black beans and some Kentucky Wonder beans that was completely broke, like completely into.
Yeah.
And they was already like at least 5 foot tall. So other than that, though, still, I think it's going to be the best year for gardening we've had yet.
Hey, part of gardening is you go through disasters, right? You just got to say, just pick it up and start over again. And you guys are lucky. You guys live down south because something happens to me, I'm done.
Yeah.
I got to think about the next season, you know?
Yeah, we got plenty of time. Exactly where we live, frost-wise, is the projected first frost is like October 24th. And, of course, July and August is super hot. So, really, even right now, late June, we could start everything right now and still get it.
It's interesting that that's so early because mine up here where I am in Virginia is November 12th.
You're on the east? You're on the east?
We're Fort Belvoir by like DC, that area.
Well,
I don't know.
So frost dates, it depends on your source. There is no magic average, actually. Most of them are percentile. So,
yeah.
I mean, your source and my source could be two different things. So,
I just moved here. I have no clue.
No. I can be saying where I'm reporting from is a 70%.
Yeah.
And where you're reporting from is an 80. There is no such thing as, I mean, other than 50th percentile, there really is no such thing as an average frost date. It's very, very misleading.
Yeah, I check out the most likely option, and I check a couple different places. I'm like, so it says November. I'm going to assume October, and it's a year. It's our first year. I have no idea what the weather, and we're right on AB line, and there's water right there. So who knows, microclimate wise, what I got going on. So first year gardens are so much fun.
Yeah, there is that too, how close you are to the water and the micro. Like here a few years ago, there was a late freeze. It was like Mother's Day. Freeze, not frost, freeze. And everybody around me lost their nightshades, but we did not. And it's because the way the yard is and the downslope and the fence and concrete and brick walls, it just stayed warm enough.
Yep.
I mean, the micro gets really down to your exact yard.
Mm-hmm.
Or even in your yard. MB's farm has a creek. So they're up and then it rolls back down to a creek. So you got two different things going on there too.
Yeah.
Living where in Jersey, it's like every October, there's a spat of 2 or 3 days, actually 2 days, where it gets really cold, then it warms back up all the way to November. But all year, like you get a frost, and all of a sudden you're out there. I'm like, oh, come on. It's only 1 to 2 days, and your whole garden's screwed up now. You're growing your hot peppers or tomatoes, you still plant late. You're like, oh, man, I really could have grew all the way to freaking November if I just protected that,
That's the perk of having a small garden. You can protect your stuff. When you have the big, ginormous ones, you're going to be out of luck unless you do something drastic.
Yeah, and I don't have the time to do anything drastic.
I put Christmas lights all around my plants, and then I throw a blanket from the thrift store over top, and my neighbors all think I'm nuts. I'm like, I'll take it away in like a day or two. Don't worry. And then I live through that. But
So there was a question here from Kimmy. Have you seen the chicken ball, protecting the chicken from predators and keep your garden safe? It's like a hamster ball. Have you guys ever seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh,
It's exactly kind of what they're explaining. It's just like a hamster ball, but I don't know how many different companies are designing them, but the ones I looked at, I had a few issues with them myself. They will work. In my opinion, it's only going to be against aerial predators because where we live at, we have coyotes, weasels, foxes. I mean, anything, and every one of the, like including the weasels, they can just chew right through them. Like a weasel can chew through poultry wire, 9-gauge dog wire, and they're really powerful. And it can take them a little time, but they'll go through metal. So it's really just aerial predators and the squares in those balls when the chicken's like crawling, like, walking around and the ball's rolling. The squares ain't big enough to let enough nutrition come through, but it's also small enough to start grabbing those toenails. I mean, they work great for aerial predators. I just seen a few issues with them. But yeah, I mean, they work pretty good. They just won't for ground predators. Even dogs can destroy them pretty quick, but they work great for aerial predators.
Built on a rock homestead. They got some goats, new ones.
Nubians.
Nubians. Is that new ones? Nubians? New where? New.
All right, I have a chicken question because I have a friend who swears that if you buy tan or like the super dark brown, blackish colored chickens, that they are much less likely to be picked up by aerial predators versus like the white ones. Any thoughts on that?
I have a video out on that, and I do have a theory, and it does work, but there's a catch to it. There's always a catch. When you're implementing the black chicken method, you have to have crows in the area. In this video, I have a little quick clip of where we always have hawks. We have two nesting pairs of hawks here, and one's Cooper and the other one is a red-tailed hawk. But anyway, they're constantly here all the time. We've never lost a chicken to an aerial predator. We do kind of contribute some of it to the black chicken method because we always see crows attacking hawks in the air. Every season you'll see crows. They're really defensive toward hawks because number one, hawks will like, robbing the nest once the babies get old enough. They don't mind coming and taking baby crows. So if you see one hawk and about 8 black crows attacking it over and over again, that's when you need to implement the black chicken method. Just because you have hawks in the area and you put black chickens in there, you can't kill the messenger because a lot of times hawks and crows don't always fight. A lot of times they'll work together, but it just depends on your area. So if you got people like where we live out there's tons of cornfields. We're always drawing in new crows. We even have the raven here, which is a much larger, more defenseless version of them. They get pretty rough. But yeah, I'll shut up babbling. It does work. You just got to live in the area where you have to know for a fact that crows are really defensive toward hawks.
Gotcha.
But here we always just use the reflection method, which is upside down DVDs, broken mirrors, whatever. And a lot of people implement that wrong. They want to hang them sideways and let them spin around or whatever. It ain't going to work if the hawk's looking at your chickens from the air. That sideways reflection is never going to help you out. But if you flip the reflection up, where when they look down, they see their own reflection, or sometimes if they're high enough up, it'll confuse them and it looks like there's holes in the ground. They won't land because they have to make sure that there's something solid to land on. And they don't want to fight another bird of prey. So it works both ways. And we always say the reflection method works way better. That way you don't have to guess. But I mean, the black chicken method will work if you know for a fact you have seen those hawks and crows fight. So.
Let's see if I can get this right. No, this way. This is why you got to buy the book. That's the Chicken Whisperer. Y'all need to get over there and buy his book.
And see, that's the thing is she never told me why, and she never mentioned crows. She's just like, if you put dark birds out, they'll leave the dark birds alone. They only go after the white ones. And even within her flock, every single white one got picked off, but every brown and black one, it was fine. So I just,
all right. Let's think this through. I'm a hawk and I'm starving.
It's more visible.
I see a chicken, but it's black, so I ain't gonna eat it. No. That's just like the hot seed. They sell it. They sell it for a premium. It's a bird seed with a cayenne pepper on it because, squirrels have taste buds. That's bullshit. I tried that back here and on purpose and watched. They just look like they're drunk. It burns them and they kind of stumble around. But if they're hungry, they're hungry.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I think for not just the hawks, but any of that stuff, none of that stuff's foolproof. Well, unless you're going a direction I don't want to mention on Joe's show because of policies on the platform. But there's only one thing that's foolproof. It involves a loud noise that goes.
Yes. I got you.
If you have any questions, put them all in caps. But the vineyard chicks, do you guys see that? The question from the vineyard chicks?
They put up a top list of the, oh, they want to attract hawks, keep pests like mice and rats and stuff away. I'm not sure if they're attracted to a certain color or not. I have no idea about that. It's a good question.
That's interesting.
That is a good question.
Let me put that back up what it was. Well,
never really thought of it that way.
I got so much to learn about chickens or animals and everything.
He's got a book.
I know. I know. I can hear it all about it. I think it's freaking great.
Joe needs an audiobook. Does Michael have an audiobook of his chicken book? When there's an audio version, he'll do it while he's Ubering.
Well, there's 3 versions.
I can have my people listen to it.
Digital, hardback, and paperback. So you can just get the digital version and have the little audio reader. They get that free anyway. So.
There you go. See, I found a way for you, Joseph. I found you.
And Jesse, thank you for posting all those links. I appreciate it. For Michael's page and everything.
That's why they call him the mod father.
They're getting rid of the mice.
Well, I missed that question.
Yeah, well, it was what their problem was different. Like when chicken farmers are usually trying to deter hawks, they want to attract hawks to keep mice and rats and predators away from the farm, you know. So, which is really smart, but I have no idea what color they might be attracted to.
They have 30 feet, and we have a ground squirrel problem.
Oh, those are my nemesis, my number one. I know about the squirrel problem. I can tell you that.
Jules' method right there that shall remain unmentioned.
Yes.
Very useful tool. Very useful tool.
Covers a plenitude of pestilent problems.
That's really smart though, because once you get a hawk on your land, and hawks are like eagles. Once they pair up, they'll mate for life, and as long as there's no other predators around, they'll stay there for their entire life. So it's smart to have natural, a way naturally to get rid of the pest and everything on your farm. It's smart to try to attract them. It's a good question.
I think I have a fox in my backyard, and I have no deer problems. It's amazing how nature takes care of itself. I really think it's a fox. I really do. And it really goes under the ground. It's over. There's a whole bunch of trees. And I thought at first it was groundhogs or some kind of hog, but I'm thinking it's a fox. I can't believe I had so much deer problems, but I haven't finished my fence yet around my back, where my hot peppers are. And I'm like, I planted lots of marigolds, but that doesn't, what does that really do? Not too much, a little bit, but not too much.
Right.
But I really think there's a fox in my backyard. What do foxes eat? They're like more of a meat eater, right? Do you guys know?
They go after your chickens, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, they're pretty much specifically meat eaters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before I get my chickens, I got to get rid of the fox. Then I got to watch out for the deer.
Foxes eat everything. I thought we were talking about hawks. Foxes will eat berries and all. They're like omnis, but they will love to take a meat source first. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
There's a free chicken laying around somewhere. They will work harder to get that than the berries right beside of them.
Yeah.
And Jules, how's your garden going this year? For those that
it's going well. We actually started in February. And May was cooler than normal. Things kind of slowed down. We had a fantastic strawberry year. And right now, we're just waiting on the summer stuff. It's all there. We're just waiting for it to ripen up and germinate for the corn and all that good stuff. I will say we had Monday through Thursday so much rain. We had a month's worth of rain in 4 days. And so my Payson tomatoes, I did have a few branches. They didn't snap completely, but they definitely got injured, had to retie them. There was so much water. When you get that amount of rain, the water's going to go to the fruit primarily. And there was so much water, the fruit got ahead of the stems. It was 4 inches in 4 days, basically.
Wow.
And June down here, 4 inches is for the month. On average, it's 4 inches for the month, and we had it in 4 days. But, it's all good. The Cherokee purples, cigar-sized stems, big old tomatoes coming.
They
Pulling
are the best, aren't they? I love Cherokee purple.
Yeah. Love growing those things. They're fantastic. But yeah, we're having a good year. Thanks. Herbs. I put a video up, I think yesterday or the day before, our herb center. And we did it after all the rain. Everything looks nice and green after rain. So we made that video so people could really see and appreciate. It's really hard to get a message to people on YouTube that aren't looking for that information. People typically type in what they're looking for. It's kind of hard to encourage people to grow herbs because they have to be looking for that already and already know. But we do throw herb videos up 2 or 3 a year. In our philosophy, that's your biggest bang for the buck if you cook at home. It's just per ounce, what you're getting from any store versus growing it yourself. It's a huge savings, and you can grow much more than you'll ever need. So you don't have to worry about it. You just grow it, cut, dry what you want, or grind what you want, and just keep on keeping on. We seriously consider this year approaching a couple of friends we know that have restaurants to see if we couldn't supply them some. But I just didn't want to get tied down running another business.
Yeah, you only got so much time and, what you want to do in your life besides doing one certain thing.
Knowing our luck, we'd cut corners and the IRS would be here and all of a sudden they own our house because we were illegally selling basil,
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Like, really? All these big shots in D.C., blah, 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 blah. Hey, here's 2 misdemeanors. Me, give me your house. What? $20 worth of basil. What are you talking about? Give me your truck keys. Okay.
Have you ever grown, pineapple mint before?
No. Mm-mm.
I got some this year, and I can't keep the stuff alive. I'm like, who kills mint? Apparently this girl. I'm like, it smelled so good, and it looked so pretty, and my kids wanted it, and I cannot keep it alive to save my life. I think I have one stem left out there out of this whole big, not a whole big thing, but.
What is it in?
It is in a raised bed garden, but it's right next to my basil and my thyme and oregano, and everything else is thriving right around it in the exact same environment. So,
is it in full sun or partial shade?
Full sun.
Put it in partial shade.
Maybe
I grew it last year and it grew great. I just had it in a container, partial shade, and it's one of the only things I grew last year. Well, because I wasn't out in the garden.
And here I am loving. Maybe I'm just loving it too much, and that's why it's dying because I'm being nice to it. Maybe I have to swear at it and kick some dirt at it when I go by it. Stop being nice.
So it's 9:35 already. Let me see if there's any other questions in the chat.
Oh goodness, yeah, wow.
We're overdue, sir. Again, as usual.
I better be getting off of here myself.
Time flies. Having fun.
Yeah, I don't see anything else. Well,
Going down for peddling basil in dark corners.
What are you in for, fraud? What are you in for murder? What are you in for? I was selling basil to a restaurant illegally.
Basil
Sure, it's basil. That's what they all say.
I gave them some extra eggs,
So Michael and Jules, when I have extra vegetables, I give them out in Uber rides, right? My funniest rides are 2 things. When I have all those zucchini come in,
you're going to get yourself in trouble, Joe.
I'm going to get in really big trouble. I get in trouble anyway. So what's the difference? So I go to these freaking logs of zucchinis, and all of a sudden I have them in my cooler in my back of my trunk. I go, all of a sudden you pick up a couple girls and you're like, hey, do you guys want some zucchini?
Ooh.
Right? And the first thing the first reaction is, man, you don't really hear anything. It happens every single time. And you're like, they're thinking I'm a pervert or something. You know?
You're the creepy old man offering them your zucchini, Joe.
And I'm like, oh yeah, guys, like zucchini. Like, do you guys have zucchini before? And they're looking at me like strange. I go, look in the back seat. There's some zucchini. And also they look and they're like, oh, zucchini. I go, yeah, zucchini. If I know the reaction is, who the heck gives out vegetables in a freaking Uber ride down Jersey Shore?
The better way would be like, hey, I have a garden. I have an abundance of vegetables. Would you like some? They're in the cooler. Help yourself. Not, you want to see my zucchini?
Right.
At 3 o'clock in the morning?
Zucchini.
It's all in the delivery, Joe.
All the reactions on their faces.
At 3 o'clock at the bar, right? Like what do you think these women have heard all night long at 3 a.m. at the bar when you're picking them up and you're asking about zucchini in an Uber?
When they see my zucchini, they're like,
oh, sis. You just got demonetized.
That was a long way to a punchline.
And I also give out hot peppers too. That's hilarious too, because if you pick college kids, if one kid you offer them a hot pepper, one of those 4 college kids are going to go, "Oh, I'll have it." And the hottest thing they ever had was probably a freaking habanero. Right. And then you're like, "Okay, it's the end of the ride." That's when you have to start the conversation at the very end because you don't want them to get sick in my car, And all of a sudden, I go, you warn them. I said, you guys sure? I go, you really should have ice cream or milk or something. You guys sure you really want this right now? Here goes. Kid freaking bites it, and they're freaking like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
This is hot. This is really hot. Oh my God. And the reactions, and you see the other 3 college kids laughing their ass off. I go, I told you it was hot. And I go, you want some for the party? I'll give you some more for the party. Because you know how many peppers come off a hot pepper. Oh yeah, I should give them out Peter peppers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deborah's right. Deborah's right on.
Yeah.
You enjoy it.
Oh, I really
He
do.
does enjoy it.
You enjoy it.
Hey, I'm a good guy. I like giving out stuff, Hey.
Speaking of giving out, we're going to give some stuff away before we end the night there, sir.
Okay. Well, let me.
I don't know.
Michael, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thanks for having us. I appreciate it.
And I appreciate
It's nice meeting you guys.
Hopefully, we got do this again sometime soon. So, thank you guys so much.
Okay. All right. We'll see y'all.
Thank you, Jules. Okay, let me spin quick. They're so, what? I can stay on them forever. And hey, Juliana, this is only supposed to be a 2-hour show. So sorry.
No, I was trying to behave myself, but I'm like, there's Jules, Julie, and Juliana tonight. I'm like, do you know how hard I had to work to not answer for every single person every time you spoke? Wait, nope. He's not talking to me. Nope.
Okay. So that was interesting. Collect all that you do not want and give it to the food bank. I have a donation stand in front of my house, and all the food usually goes. And my peppers, I dehydrate them, and I have given out tomatoes and stuff to the needy.
Sadly, a lot of food banks won't take produce from your garden either.
Yeah, that is true too.
It's unfortunate, but in a lot of places they just won't because they're afraid you did something to it, or
You gotta, I know in parts of Asbury Park, there is one there I could give, but a lot of other places, Juliana, you're right on the money. So, but all my food usually never goes to waste. So, yeah. So, okay, let me get to the wheel quick. Thank you for everybody for staying this long. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my wife being on. She's not one to come on and to do everything. So let's get to the thing quick. We had only one winner before.
Your wife might have been my favorite, just saying. We finally got to meet her.
Yeah, well, Juliana, Jules is a Juliana.
Is it J cubed, right? No.
Yep. Okay, I dare you, stupid hot sauce. Let's shuffle. Hope you guys enjoyed all the talk. I really enjoyed it. Okay, here we go. See who's going to win.
My kids enjoy not having to go to bed early tonight because of you. So, you know.
Cool. Yeah, we just finished school last week. Here's Stupid Hot Sauce. Idaho Garden Girl. I wonder if she's still on. Idaho Garden Girl. And you know what? Her and Star are awesome when they go live. Let me see. I have to get back where I was.
Star's another one with chickens. There's always a chicken somewhere when Star's on.
Star's a great guy. He is 1 second. Let me get back to my live. So congratulations to Idaho Garden Girl. There it is. Seeds. Okay, so Dietary Stupid Hot Sauce is still in. Idaho Garden Girl, just email me exactly what you want. I pretty much know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Email me your address and tell me, and I'll send you your seeds. Okay, again, I dare you, Stupid Hot Sauce. This is hot stuff. This is basically the only time I go live during the week, guys. I don't do any kind of live show. Special. I do have a special coming up. Blue Farm. I don't think Blue Farm is here, but if they are here, let us know. Okay, Pink Yarn. That's all these. Here you go. Good luck. John Farley goes, I love hot sauce. Well, you guys get some of the hot sauce like that. I got a lot of hot sauce in my bag. Thank you, everyone, for staying. Still 61 people in here. Sherry won. That's awesome. Congratulations to Sherry Knowles. Now, do we see Sherry in the chat? Again, a lot of people left already and they're out, but congratulations to Sherry Knowles. Sherry was in the chat before, leaving comments over the place, which I appreciate. Congratulations to Sherry Knowles. Let me see. So looking for Sherry. She's still here. Anybody who stays this long, that's impressive. Thank you guys so much. I don't see Sherry right now. Someone's getting to music. Shuffle. I got it, Walt. Okay, let me see what I got. Check those. Okay, guys, this is an awesome.
Crochet Dolls and Animals.
Yahoo.com. Crochet Dolls and Animals. This is a really cool book. This is actually a $20 book. I bought it today. So here we go. Oh, that's awesome to me. I love that you're here. You guys always, Jane, I got it. You see her? I got it. Sherry is, she wants to subscribe. That is awesome. So thank you guys for helping me out in the chat. Crochet Dolls and Animals. Sherry won again. Wow, it's a setup.
Her lucky day. Is she here?
Yeah, she's here. She got the last one. She got the pink yarn. So, Sherry, I make water bombs with that thick yarn.
I'm gonna say now she can make animals and dolls with her pink yarn.
So, Sherry, you could be the big winner tonight. Do you want the book? Do you want to give it away? Do you want seeds? Let us know, Sherry. You're a double winner, which is awesome. So let us know, Sherry.
We haven't had double winners in a long time. That's exciting.
Yes, I will take the book. Yes, thanks. Whoop whoop. Well, that just helped with postage.
There you go.
Okay, what else we got? Okay, we got a couple this yarn away. So this is, I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce anything.
It's blue yarn.
So it's blue yarn.
Blue yarn.
It's blue yarn. There he goes. That is where it never happened before. Shuffle. You're right, 2%. go. People in the chat. Yarn barf. So congratulations you to Yarn barf.
I love when the yarn goes to yarn people.
Well, you know what? I try to make this a homesteading community, sort of in a way, even though the main focus is gardening. And this is there's such a balance in everything we can learn here from. I mean, just from what we have today's chat, with health, with we're talking about food and health, and blind guy, his wife, his life. We're talking about chickens from Michael. We're talking about gardening from Jules. We're talking about Julie just being Julie. And Juliana. We got Juliana.
Talking about everything, as usual. No.
Yeah, you got your everything. Exactly.
But you know what? The yarn and the crocheting and the knitting, I'm just going to say, even in the gardening space, you need something to do in December. And while you're waiting for the seed catalog to come out, before you're dreaming and planning, you need to have something to do. And that's when I find time for the sewing, the quilting, the crocheting, all of that. That's
for those in a crochet world, I got something in the mail that I'm going to show you during the week. And just let you guys know, today was the last day to enter for the Christmas in July giveaway. Not giveaway, Christmas in July Secret Santa. Ho, ho, ho. And so check out the registration video if you're still here for it. Don't look at the old one. The way I looked at the old one, it was so old that it was needed to be thrown out. So check out the new Christmas in July. Register, $25. You pick gardening or crochet and crafts. And tell me a little bit about what you want so I can match you up. And that's going on this week. And I know I have to get it out. So, and then my garden should be finally planted this week too. So a lot of stuff's happening. Okay, let me see. So we got, I don't think Yarn Barf's here. And fruit nets. What am I missing? I'm missing something here.
The fruit nets, you didn't give those away, did you?
What was that?
The fruit nets, the little fruit bowl?
Let me see.
I think you gave it away for early, but no one claimed it at 9 a.m.
No, Disabled and Prepping was here.
Okay, good.
So the fruit nets is gone. The blue yarn stays because there's no winter.
I think you showed me everything. You got rid of it all then.
Okay, just one more last thing because I got 2 things of hot sauce still left. So I dare you, stupid hot sauce, and that will end the night. So here we go. Hot sauce. I don't see Blue Farmers here, so thank you for all the hearts. I love them divine. Hot sauce. Here we go. I dare you, stupid hot sauce and fucker butt. Hot. It's hot. Sifting some soil, 55. We're sifting some soil and more. So let me get off of this. So I'm trying to get so many other ways to focus, get people interested in the channel. And so that's what I try to do with that. And thank you for all the mods. Again, it's priceless what you guys do. And you know what? I also look at it this way. If you don't like somebody on your channel, that's okay. You don't have to watch or listen. Just turn on to something else and learn. YouTube's there's 2 million gardening channels out there. So somebody doesn't, there's a lot of things going on right now in the YouTube world where it's all bullcrap. To me, it's all about learning. Screw the bullcrap. Throw it out. I want to learn. I want to learn about chickens. I want to learn about yarn. I want to learn about homestead. I want to learn about all this. That's what
You know what I have to say to that, Joe? I may not be everyone's vanilla, but I sure am somebody's rocky road. You know?
That reminds me, I want some ice cream now.
32 flavors of Baskin-Robbins for a reason. If you don't like something, move on to the one you do like. Take the good and leave the bad and keep it moving.
Look at K&K Crochet, but there's only one.
Oh, thank God there's only one, Joe. No.
Thank God for that. So thank you, everyone. I'm so happy you guys all came, and I appreciate it. I really do pour my heart into everything I do. And I know I go overboard, and sometimes, I go underboard. I still got to send stuff out from 3 weeks ago. And Juliana, thank you so much for staying on this long and your friendship. and everything
sure.
you show me, and I appreciate everything. So
I
until
appreciate you, sir.
I will go live this week. It's about the Secret Santa for a little bit, and I will have a channel that wants to come on during the week. They can't come on Sunday, and we'll see about that when I start scheduling it, because I got to get outside done first. Okay, enough of me. I talk too much. Thank you so much, Juliana. Thank you, everyone in the chat, and check out those channels. We went on tonight. MB Heritage Farm. Voon wasn't here, but that's Voon Chill. Jules Gardening Tips, and Blind Guy His Life, their life. And what a great channel. All right. God bless everyone. Take care. Have a good